All right, everybody, welcome to the XFL stream. It's Orlando against San Antonio. Two of the teams at the bottom of the XFL in the standings for the most part. Orlando's mathematically eliminated. San Antonio still technically alive, but they need a lot of help. And it starts with a win against Orlando. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, apologies I couldn't do the stream earlier today. I really wanted to do the stream with the Houston-Vegas game, which was a very good game. Very good game, very close game. But I just couldn't do the stream. Just way too exhausted to do it. I was up till 5:30 in the morning last night working on the JG9 video that came out today, the Browns video, and the JG7 video that came out today, the Yankees 1982 video. And 5:30 in the morning, that's 8:30 in the morning Eastern time. So just keep that in mind. I was exhausted. I was like, okay, I can do this on 2 hours of sleep, but probably not a good idea for anyone. Because probably I won't get any videos out. Thank you so much, Dragon Air, for the $2. Thank you so much, Idaho. Absolutely, I'm Idaho, as the great Ralph Wiggum would say. But thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to live stream this game between Orlando and San Antonio. This game is on ESPN2 for those wondering. Tomorrow we'll do both live streams, especially the game of the year. One of the biggest games, regular season games, maybe the biggest regular season game in the history of alternate football. Between Seattle and St. Louis. That's going to be a phenomenal game. We'll do that one tomorrow. We'll also do the live stream tomorrow for the game that's taking place between Arlington and D.C. That should be a good game. But thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Jared9. You guys know the drill if you've been here before. If this is your first time, ask me any questions you want. I'll be happy to answer anything. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to live commentate the game. The game's on ESPN2. If you want to have your question moved to the front of the queue, we have donations. Otherwise, I'm just going to go in the order that I see the questions. And for those wondering about the USFL, I'll just address it right now. We won't do any USFL streams for the first 2 weeks. Simply put, or the first 3 weeks, rather. First 3 weeks, because next week's week 2, week 3 is the draft. So the first 3 weeks, we won't do any USFL streams. I'll start up in week 4. It just would be way too much on my plate to do USFL and XFL and getting videos out on all 3 channels. So it just will not be possible. $50! Holy cow! Holy cow! Whoa! $50 for the grind you've been going on. Big props to you. Thank you so much, Weather Chart. Oh my goodness. We are starting off strong. $50. Whoa! Holy cow. Wow. Thank you for tuning in for all these streams, Weather Chart. I can't thank you enough for all the support. Wow. $50. Jeez, you did not have to do that. Thank you so much. Oh, man. What a way to start the stream off. Thank you so much, Weather Chart. And hopefully things are going great by you. I can see you in the streams on Sunday as well. Thank you so much for just all the support. But I am watching the USFL on a second monitor. I am watching that game. It's actually been a pretty good game so far. Actually been a pretty good game between Philly and Memphis. I hate Memphis' unis, just the white lettering, but... And we'll see. Quality's been pretty good. Quality has been pretty good. So we'll do USFL starting week 4. Week 5, I have no clue what we're going to do for that. We'll do whatever games are on Sunday for sure, but the Saturday game, we'll do some Sunday games, but I have to say, because also, exciting news. I did tease for a while that eventually I'm moving into a 2-bedroom place. I'm getting a second bedroom, turning it into an office, and we're going to do our streams from there from now on. 2 months. The official move-in date is June 19th. June 19th to June 21st, I move in. I'm moving into the same exact place. It's just like 6 doors down. It's not even... So it shouldn't be too bad. But we are doing that. By the end of June, we will have a brand new setup for streams. We will have a brand new setup for like trivia streams and whatnot. It's going to look amazing. You guys are really going to love it. So keep that in mind. Who do you think is the best odds of winning the XFL championship? I would say right now, look, I don't know how, I think I have to go DC. I haven't been impressed by Houston lately. I haven't been impressed by them whatsoever. The second team out of the South, Arlington, I mean, they're not gonna do anything. I don't like what Bob Stoops is doing. I don't like that offense whatsoever. So really it comes down to who's getting out of the North. And I don't know how the Seattle-St. Louis game is going. that could go either way. That's a complete toss-up. One of those teams is missing the playoffs because of it. So I have to go with DC, especially with the way their defense is playing. I have to go with DC. I really like Jordan Tamu. He is one of the favorites for MVP for a reason. Who among the 4 teams who got into the playoffs via the play-in do you think is most likely to pull off a first-round upset? Hawks, Lakers, T-Wolves, or Heat? For me, it's very easy. It's the Lakers. For me, it's extremely easy to say the Lakers. And the reason why, they look like a completely different team ever since the trade deadline. Remember, they were, 2-10 at one point? They've been playing a lot better. They've been playing like a top 4 seed in the West ever since the trade deadline. LeBron's playing well. Ever since he got Vanderbilt, they got rid of Westbrook. Reeves is playing pretty well. The Grizzlies, I don't know. Grizzlies, you never know. That's going to be a good series. The Heat have no shot. The Hawks have no shot. The T-Wolves, they're kind of dysfunctional. Nuggets are not a great 1 seed, but I think the Nuggets win that one. Lakers, I could easily see being the Grizzlies. I could easily see the Lakers being the Grizzlies. They easily have the best shot. I'm so happy because the Marlins have won 4 in a row and are 8-7. Yeah. Oh, man, Tori Lavello. Oh, Tori. Oh, my goodness. Whoa. Okay. Hang on a second. I'll get back to that in just a second. 79-20. What on earth is happening today? 79-20 from Michael Hodel. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much. Let me put your name in there, and then I will, and then I'll read your thing. Oh my goodness, 79-20. Whoa. Hey JG, hope you're well as always, brother. When something goes wrong, blame Frank. Best advice I can give today. Pretty good advice. I'm doing well. Just been working like crazy. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, I got another editor for the college football channel. He's going to help a lot with getting more content out on that channel, so that's going to be good. So I've been working on that. I've been working on baseball vids, football vids, draft stuff. So thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. We already made, wow. Oh my God, we already made over $130 on this stream. The game hasn't even started yet. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Michael Hodel. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really, that means a lot to me. All the donations, all the support. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to me. You have no idea. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys make this all worth it. Thank you. Getting back to the Marlins with Jackson. Man, Tori Lavello, I don't know what you're doing. The bats have been very quiet. Very quiet. But yeah, that is double spiking the ball. That is what 79-20 is. Yeah. Yes, 79-20. I didn't even process it at first. I was just blown away by the amount. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. So starting Bumgarner yesterday, horrible idea. Then bring in McGuff for no reason. I mean, Chafin's a very good reliever. Just bring him in. First off, I think Ryan could have gone 7. I think Ryan Nelson absolutely could have gone 7 today. He was only at like 80 pitches through 6. He absolutely could have gone 7. But you don't let him go 7, and you bring in McGuff, who's been terrible all year, instead of Chafin, who's actually been very good this season. Yeah, Lavello's pitching management has not been good lately. Disappointed with this series. Very disappointed with how this series is going. Very disappointed. I look at it as, and this is a crazy, unrealistic way to look at it, but I look at every 10 games, go 6-4. Every 10 games, you go 6-4. That makes you a 98-win team that easily gets you in the playoffs. So obviously, I don't think the D-backs are winning 98 games. But I look at it as right now we're 1-3 in that stretch. So had a great start to the season. Kind of blowing it right now. Yeah, Marlins look good. Pitching looks great. I mean, Rogers looked phenomenal yesterday. But Tori Lavello's management with the rotation. I am not pleased. Not pleased with how that one went. This is one of the best YouTube channels I've come across. I've learned so many things I did not know about the NFL. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. Thank you. And welcome to the stream. Hope you're going to have a lot of fun on this one. Yeah, we got, that's really my goal with the channel. My goal with the channel, teach you guys stuff about football that I never even knew. Now, I didn't know until I started researching it. Like the video coming out tomorrow, I had no idea like about this player, about any of this until I would say an hour ago when I started researching it and doing the, compiling the clips. It's going to be a Colts related draft video tomorrow. So just something to keep in mind. It's going to be a Colts-related draft video coming out tomorrow. So that should be really, really good. Really, really bizarre story with the Colts and a draft they had in the 70s and a really weird pick they had. And there's one video I really, really want to do, but there's no footage available, so I have to figure out how on earth I'm going to do it. I might be able to figure out a way to get it done, but it's basically a video about the Steelers in the 60s, and they literally drafted names out of a hat. They were that desperate. I might do a video on that, if I can find the footage. Because none of the players that they drafted, shocker, did anything. So, I have to figure that out. Alright, game is officially transitioned from that documentary onto ESPN2 right now. Again, the game is between Orlando and San Antonio. San Antonio is not eliminated just yet, but they need a lot of help. And it's going to take a minor miracle for them to get in. They need to win out. Arlington needs to lose out, and some stuff has to happen in the tiebreakers. Orlando's done. Orlando's done for just a really, really poor showing last week by Normandy. 5 turnovers. Very uncharacteristic game from him. So we will see what happens today. USFL rule, running clock after incompletions seems like a bad idea. It just seems very arbitrary. Oh, Egener, thank you so much. Another $2. I'm a Rams fan. What is the draft? So the draft is when a mommy GM and a daddy GM love each other very much, and they try to make football players out of it. That's what it is. Yeah, running clock after incompletion is, look, it's a rule in the XFL, but the thing I don't like with the USFL rule about it with a running clock is that it's very arbitrary in terms of when it is. In terms of when it is very arbitrary. XFL, it's the entire game except for the 2-minute warning. Makes sense. The USFL, it's 5 minutes. Like, it's a very weird system. It's kind of confusing. It is kind of confusing to the average fan. Should the NFL have a one-time draft lottery for the Giovanni McCoy sweepstakes? I mean, they had draft lotteries before. They had bonus picks. So bring it back. Why not? Why not? Should be an easy move. Congrats on the big moves. Thank you so much. I've wanted to do this for a while. I wanted to get it done before football season started. And I wanted to do it during a dead time, so to speak. I didn't want to do it during XFL season. I wanted to do it in the summer. So we are good to go. Do you think Pavlovich may have coached his last game? I don't think so. Look, Pavlovich has the green light to coach however long he wants. He's got the green light to do it. He's a legend. He is the Spurs. He can coach it as ever long as he wants. I think he enjoys coaching these young guys and having fun doing that. He enjoys the challenge. I don't think he's coached his last game. He'll make it very clear when he's coached his last game. Have I ever done the grid challenges for the various sports? What are the grid? I have no clue what the grid challenge is. I have no clue. How many wins does Belichick need to surpass Shula? Let's look that up. I don't know off the top of my head. So Belichick's at 298, Shula's at 328. So he needs 31 wins to do it. He only needs 2 wins to get to 300. Only 2 wins to get to 300. So my guess, knowing that, Patriots will probably get a primetime game week 3 or something like that, where they think he can get 300. Yeah, he needs 30 wins to tie. He's gonna do it. He is absolutely gonna do it. Yeah, USFL game is pretty entertaining. It is pretty entertaining. I would do the game. It's just I can't do XFL and USFL streams at the same time, and I can't do them all at once because I'd be on for 10 hours, and my voice would be shot, and I wouldn't be able to get videos out, and it just wouldn't be good. But I'm definitely doing USFL streams. Don't get me wrong. Week 4, we will start USFL streams. Kind of stinks that I can only do it starting week 4, but next 2 weeks are XFL. Week after that's the NFL draft. I will be in Kansas City for that. So we will do week 4. We have a $5 from Weather Chart. Thank you so much. As a Nats fan, I know nothing but pain. The 2019 season was the last time I would taste happiness. I'm more curious about the farm system. Yeah, that's one of the beauties of, I mean, not beauties of rooting for a bad team, but when you're rooting for a young team, you get to see guys come up like that. Yeah. I would say where's the weather report, but we are in a dome, so I can't really ask for that. All right, we are officially underway. Orlando Getting the ball to start off at the 25, down at the 27-yard line is Dedrick Thomas. Again, we have a running clock going on the screen. The red boxes indicate the timeouts. The blue box indicates the challenge. You get one challenge, you can challenge anything you want. So just keep that in mind. Bills Bengals week 1 Monday Night Football. I'm not sure it's going to be week 1, but it will definitely be a Monday Night Football game. I'd be shocked if it's not. So first and 10, Orlando ball. It is going to be back there. Number 12, Quinn Dormandy, who's actually played pretty well for the most part ever since the whole scandal, and he cleared his name. Had a great game against DC, but the last one, very, very rough. 5 turnovers in a must-win game. Not what you like to see. Handoff goes to Devin Darrington, gain of 5 to start off. Gain of 5. And again, this game is on ESPN2 for those wondering. This game is on ESPN2. I still think AJ McCarron would be the MVP for the XFL. It depends on if they make the playoffs or not. I can't give it to a guy if they don't make the playoffs. Having said that, if they beat Seattle and he plays, I think he's the MVP. They're screwed if he doesn't play. They're screwed if he doesn't play because Nick Tiano's on IR. Nick Tiano is on IR. Second down. Handoff. Once again, Darrington tries to bowl his way forward. Gets a gain of 4 on the play. Gets 4. So 3rd and 1 ball at around the 35-yard line. They'll mark it, right around the 35. As a Twins fan, I'm shocked that we won 2 games at Yankees. So am I. That seems to be their kryptonite, and they did it. So I'm very, very shocked by that. I'm shocked more so by the first inning they had on, what was it, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. 9 runs in the first? I mean, come on. That's insane. What was insane was the A's game yesterday. I was watching that. A's-Mets. 17 walks? I mean, come on. Dumps it off on a drag route. It's caught by the tight end down at the 47-yard line. Catch there made by Ryan Becker. And they are into Brahmas territory. Gain of 18 on the play. Good for a Guardians first down. So a nice drive to start things off. They are already in Brahmas territory. XFL seems to move at a faster pace. Yeah, the USFL games start at 1:30 Mountain Time, or Pacific Time rather, and it is not going to end until past 3 hours. XFL games, typically they're 2 hours, 40 minutes. Handoff goes to Darrington. He's got a hole. 40. Breaks a tackle. 35. He's at the 30 and goes down at the 30-yard line. Gain of 17. Devin Darrington, have yourself a day so far. 17-yard gain. Good for a first down. Devin Darrington. They've been splitting carries at the start of the season between him and Jermaine Martin. And now it seems like Darrington's getting the bulk of the carries. And he's doing a good job with it. Yeah, 17 walks. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Their position player had the best pitching outing of the day. He was throwing 40-mile-an-hour lobbers. Pass, curl route, caught. Gain of about 4 on the play. It's Dedrick Thomas on the game. My story about this is I've watched so many XFL games that, I have a roster in front of me, but I've memorized a lot of the names at this point, which is good. It's what you're supposed to do as an announcer. It's what you're supposed to do. I like that this season the USFL is acknowledging their 80s roots. I do like that. I thought it was very confusing last season how they said certain stuff was the first time in XFL or USFL history, and then they acknowledged that. 17 just by the A's. Dormandy fires. End zone. Interference on the play. Now, was that ball catchable? I don't know. But Charleston Rambo went down. It was Tenny Adewusi who took him down. Was that ball catchable? I think that's going to be the question. He clearly went down to the ground. Was that catchable? If it was, then we got first and goal for the Guardians at around the 2-yard line. Was that ball catchable? Oh, I feel so bad for the A's. I feel so bad for their fans. They're getting major league. It is bad. Let's see. Was this ball catchable? It was. Charleston Rambo. They said it was a catchable ball. Tenny Adewusi getting called for PI. So first and goal. Or no, they're going to call him Jameson Houston? Really? Number 26? I could have swore it was number 5 who took him down. But either way, first and goal at the 4-yard line. So move him up 30 yards. 30 for 30 about the Sacramento Kings that never aired on ESPN has been uploaded to YouTube. Ooh. Have to check it out sometime. Fade route, one-on-one. It is caught. What a play. Boxes him out. Just like a forward in basketball touchdown. Jordan Thomas with the grab. Jordan Thomas, the former Mississippi State tight end. What a start. 3 minutes and 36 seconds into the game. And the Guardians have the lead. Let's see what they do here. My guess is they're going to go for 2 from the 5. What a nice play by Thomas. Boxes out the corner, had the height advantage. It was a mismatch from the start. He took advantage of it. And just like that, Orlando up 6-0, although they might be challenging. The Brahmas might be challenging the play. I should note in USFL news, Memphis has just taken the lead on a handoff. 1 yard handoff. Was there PI? I think that's the question. Kama Siverand. It looks like San Antonio is going to challenge this play. This is their only challenge. They're burning it right now, but it's not a bad idea to use it. Having said that, I haven't seen any pass interferences overturned. I've not seen any PIs overturned. That is a very subjective call, and I'm not sure you're going to be able to overturn this. Usually when a successful challenge happens in this league, it's usually for something like hands to the face that was missed. Something that's obvious. You either got him in the face or he didn't. Pass interference, a very subjective call. It can look like PI if you slow it down or not necessarily. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough to overturn this. It's going to be very, very tough to overturn this. We will see. I think JG9's Monday Night Football live streams in September will have a higher attendance than A's home games that month. We'll see. So the Colin Field stands is a touchdown. Brahmas lose a timeout. And like I said, I mean, like it's a big play, but at the same time, you're not going to get that overturned. We have a $5 again from Weather Chart. Thank you so much. A possum has been living in the walls of the visitors' broadcast booth in the Oakland Coliseum. How horrible. I don't see him in Oakland next year. Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible situation. I feel bad for their fans. No one deserves that. They are a minor league organization masquerading as a major league team. It's terrible. Yeah, the Monday Night Football stream is going to be really, really fun next year. Really, really fun. I have to see what the schedule is. They're going to call that same exact play, and it's caught again. Oh my goodness, it is caught again. Jordan Thomas making it look easy. I think they're going to get PI on the play. So give him an octopus. Give Jordan Thomas an octopus. Oh my goodness. That is a mismatch like crazy. I wonder where that was all season. It's a shame. Orlando, even though they're 1-7, they've actually been kind of fun to watch over the second half of the season. They've actually been kind of fun to watch. Jordan Thomas, give him the octopus. That is crazy. So we know what they'll be doing for the rest of the game in goal line situations. That is absolutely absurd. Yeah, obviously the problem with the Monday Night Football streams, I can't really say it's a problem because I love the guy, but I mean, Tom Grossi is going to be huge competition. He's going to be huge, huge competition. I'm not expecting to pull Grossi numbers whatsoever, but I do know a lot of my audience watches Grossi. Heck, I'm one of them. I watch Grossi. I love Grossi. So we'll see what the numbers are for the Monday Night Football streams, but I'm hoping it's going to be good. It should be exciting. It should be really, really fun. Won't do any Jaguars games, but we will do every other game, which will be a ton of fun. Yeah, if the Jags play Monday night, I'm not streaming. I am not streaming. Problem is that here's the thing. If I stream a Jaguars game, it would not be a good stream. It's not even that I say anything bad or vulgar or anything that I would regret. It's not anything like that. It would be way too quiet. I wouldn't be doing any of this. I would not be talking. I would not be doing any of this. You'd just be watching me stare at a screen. You'd be watching me jump up and down when something happens. Because here's the thing. I'm numb to the pain at this point. Now, obviously, this season I think is going to be really, really good for us. And last season was so much fun. But nothing can hurt me anymore. I mean, I've lived through it all. So I don't really get upset or yell or anything like that. And I can't manufacture outrage. I can't do that. It just wouldn't feel authentic. So I'm very, very quiet, very, very reserved during games. So it would not necessarily be a great stream. It would not be a great stream. So I will not do Jaguars games. I will not do any Jaguars games. But we will do every other game. We might do some other games as well. We'll see how the season is going. Probably not any Sunday games. Probably not Sunday Night Football, just because usually Sunday Night Football is when I work on the video as well. That comes out Monday, the Dumb Decisions video. But we will do some Monday night games. Thursday night, I usually do something on Thursday night after, so we'll see. Thursday night, maybe. Special games, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season coming up. It's going to be a very, very fun season coming up. But we'll talk more about that once I get the new studio coming out in 2 months. Let's see. what we're at with the questions. What type of yearly pay do you see Hurts getting with his next contract? About 45 mil. 45 mil a year. It's going to be really, really high. It's going to be one of the highest paid in football. JG and I watched too many Urban Meyer's games, and it scared him. I mean, the Gus Bradley years, I'm numb to the pain. Zach with a 199. Thank you so much for that. Biggest overpay in the 2023 NFL free agency cycle right now. Let me think about this, because free agency was a while ago. Let me think. I'm trying to remember contract-wise who got what. There was one contract, I'm forgetting what it was, that really, really made no sense to me. That was like an absurdly high deal. And I was like, what the heck are you doing? It was... Oh, wow. Never mind. Jawan Taylor. What am I saying? It's Jawan Taylor. Look, I love Taylor. I love the guy. Don't get me wrong. I love Jawan Taylor. $80 million to play left tackle, which he has never played before. Good job. Good job, KC. I'll take that third round compensatory pick. Thank you very much. All right, this one is down to the 28-yard line. It's Fred Brown on the return. So San Antonio are going to start there, down by 8. Jack Cohn is the QB. And for San Antonio, he has not been that good this season, so we will see. But Jawan Taylor only had one good season with us, and it was last season. Plus, $20 million a year for a guy to play a position that he's never played before, I think that's ridiculous. All right, first down at the 29-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Gain of, let's say 3 on the play. It is Patrick. So 2nd and 7. The Pistons logo has never been a Piston. That is true. I did not think of that, but you are right. Who do you think would have won the 2020 title and Stanley Cup if COVID didn't happen and didn't put a long pause? I don't think it would have made a difference. The Lightning were dominant. The Lakers were dominant that year. I don't think it would have made any difference whatsoever. Pick for this game? Oh, I forgot to mention it. But Orlando's playing well. San Antonio, I don't trust their offense one bit, so I'm saying Orlando. Curl route is caught on the play there by Nick Holly. Holly, if you hear me, gain of 13 on the play, rather. First and 10 at the 45-yard line. Yeah, USFL is like NFL but watered down. That's a good way of describing it. I will say, very impressed by the crowd in Memphis. Very impressed. My guess, probably about 40% full at the stadium, which I think it holds, 45,000? So, not a bad outing. Patrick in at 2 as he runs to the near side. Tackle on the play there made by Terrence Plummer. Drowns him at the 47-yard line. I also realized that spiking the ball in every play is almost exactly 1/4 of a perfect passer rating. I didn't know that either. Wow. That would make some sense, actually. 4 downs and whatnot, yeah. What if Eli Manning sits with the Chargers and 04 does Big Ben go with the Giants versus the Steelers? Probably. That'd be my guess. 2nd 8, you have the swing round. Instead, they're going to go screen. It's a screen to Patrick. He's got room 50, 45, 40. Hurdles the guy, 35, 30. Oh my goodness, what a run. 25, 20. Down at the 16-yard line. Plummer brings him down, but not before he gets 31 yards on the play. But there is a flag on the play, so this one might be coming back. It is on the Brahmas. So hold that thought. A nice play by Patrick nonetheless. Hurdles a guy, stays in bounds, but we are going to get some holding on the play. And I think they're going to call that on, if I'm not mistaken, it's on Wayne Wallace, number 62. Kind of threw his defender to the ground there. Oh no, they call it on Cole Laval, number 66. So 2nd and 18. Move it back. Attendance at the A's game? Probably 3,000. I gotta get back to work, but your knowledge is absolutely awesome. Please keep up the good work and grow out the beard, you stud muffin. We'll see. We will see, but thank you so much. Curl route, that is caught. They get some of that yardage back, but not a whole lot. Catch there on the play there made by Elise Mack. Gain of, let's say, 5 on the play? How different do you think Cam Newton's career would have turned out if he won Super Bowl 50? I mean, I don't think it would have turned out any differently in the sense that he'd still be in the league. I mean, he was a quarterback that always relied on his physical attributes and running, and once that failed him, it was never going to be, he was always going to struggle. So I don't think it would have made a difference in that regard. I think he'd be remembered more fondly. 3rd and 12, Cone scrambles outside the pocket. Now he's going to look to throw on the run across his body. It's caught. They get some of that yardage back, but they don't get the first down. It's caught on the play by John Hillman. We'll see if they go for it. Again, you have nothing to lose. You're 2-6. You got nothing to lose. We will see. Do they go for it here? It's 4th and 3, and they are going to punt this one away. Again, a touchback takes it to the 35-yard line. So I'm not sure if this is necessarily a smart idea if you can't. We'll see what happens. Brad Wing on the punt. Brad Wing is on the punt. Got to keep it out of the end zone. And that punt, to his credit, I mean, it's not great, but it is fielded at the 14-yard line. So a net of 34 on the play. Not great, but 7:50 left in the first quarter. Flying start for Orlando. They drove down the field with ease. Dormandy found that mismatch with Jordan Thomas down at the goal line. Darrington's been running like crazy on him. It's been a good start for the Guardians. The A's are playing how the redacted should have played in Major League. The QBs in the XFL master the back shoulder fade throw at this point in the season. Yeah, I've been very impressed. Because the back shoulder fade usually doesn't work by the goal line in the NFL. It has worked tremendously in the XFL. I am impressed with the touch on some of these quarterbacks. I am very, very impressed. The quality has gotten a lot better since the start of the season. First down, as I say, that high snap. Of course, as I say, that high snap. Sack on the play. Credit it to Ben Davis. A terrible, terrible snap from the center. I think it was... couldn't quite tell. Or actually, center there was Xavion Furcon. 2nd and 14 now. 2nd and 13, rather, at the 11-yard line. Now they're going to mark at the 10. The spotting has been all weird today. Yeah, we'll see what the Monday night streams get. The XFL streams at their peak got around 150 people, which is insane. So I wonder what the Monday night streams are going to get. Swing route, it's caught by Darrington. Stumbles and gets back to the line, gets another yard or two. It's going to be 3rd and 11. They got some work to do. Olivia Rodrigo concerts drew larger attendance numbers than Ace games last season. That kind of shocked me only because, I mean, obviously tickets were sold out like crazy, but she played in like really small theaters, so that kind of shocks me. Why the centers leave twice? I'm not sure exactly. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have a great answer for that. We do have a stoppage on the play. Look, like someone on the Guardians was hurt, but everything should be good to go now. I'll never forgive Brad Wing for the face mask penalty in the insane Giants Saints game where Eli threw 6 touchdowns. Yeah, that was a crazy, crazy game. Crazy game. FedEx Field is so bad that Taylor Swift wants something to do with it. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. FedEx Field is the problem. I do remember Washington having to forfeit their last game. I do know that story, but I don't know exactly why they moved. I think I'm going to get pizza and beer. Good choice. I can vouch for the pizza. I'm getting pizza after the stream. 3rd and 12. Pressure. Sacked. Brought down on the play. The first guy to deliver the hit was Drew Beasley. Drew Beasley was the first one, and then coming in to clean it up was Deshaun Downey. Downey brings him down, and the Guardians go 3 and out. Some nice pressure there. 3 and out. Great start on that drive. Much needed. You should also know the USFL game on Fox is 27-23 with 4:20 left. Memphis down by 4. Let's see what they do there. Punting out of their own end zone. It's Mac Brown on the punt. And it takes a very good bounce. Terribly fielded. It was horribly fielded. And what a way to flip the field. I don't know what on earth the return man was doing. I don't know what he was doing there. Landon Akers. I don't know what he was doing there. He misplayed that and then let it bounce, and just like that, the Brahmas are getting this ball around their own 30-yard line. Wow. What a good punt. 35-yard line is what they're going to get it. Good punt, but horrible return by Akers. That is a 60-yard punt. That's going to be one of the longest punts of the season. That might be the longest punt of the season in the XFL. Russell Wilson was as efficient as Ticketmaster last season. Understatement of the century right there. That is crazy. What NFL season had the least hype? I would wager one of the strike seasons, just because you knew after 2 weeks it was not going to get resolved. You knew that, like I would say 82 probably had no hype around it. I'd probably say that 82 had no hype because you knew after 2 weeks it was not going to be a thing. 75 also probably had no hype because of the preseason. There was a strike and they were replacing players during the preseason, and that was bad. So I would say that 75 and 82 probably had the least hype. 1992 Cowboys versus 2023 Chiefs. Ooh. That's tough. But look, with the way Mahomes was playing last year. Wait, 2023 Chiefs? The team that haven't played yet. If you mean 2022 Chiefs, that's close. 2023, I can't pick the Chiefs over a team that won the Super Bowl. A team that hasn't done anything yet this year. I think the Tunsil trade tree is still active. So I'll say the Cowboys, but that is close. That is awfully close. Do I see cities like Houston, Sacramento, or Portland getting an NHL team via expansion or relocation? Houston, I could see if the Coyotes deal for the Tempe Arena doesn't work out. I really hope it does, but if it doesn't work out, I think they're gone to Houston. Sacramento, I don't think is getting a team. Portland, I could see Portland. My guess is that they're going to go to 34 at some point. 2020 maybe because of COVID. That's a good pick also. 2020 is a good pick. There's also no preseason. Yeah, 2020 is a pretty good pick too. But at least you knew the season for the most part was going to be played. For the most part. Chiefs will turn Taylor into a right tackle and he'll be good. No, he plays right tackle. They signed him to play left. That's what they said. They're going to play him at left tackle. They signed him for right tackle. That's what makes no sense. It's like he plays right tackle. They signed him. He's not even that good. And they signed him to play left tackle, where he's never played before, and he's making $80 million to do it. The 2001-05 logo is my horse logo. Is any league ever? I'm not quite sure. Best logo, worst logo, I'm not sure what that means. Do you hear about the cities that are trying to get an expansion team? Yeah. So hang on. 5:39. Handoff goes to Patrick. Bulldozes his way forward. He's got nice second effort. He's still going. He is still going down to the 48-yard line. Patrick. What an amazing run there by Patrick. He ended up 18 on the play. All right, I'm just adjusting my seat because so my apologies for this. I'm adjusting my seat because my USFL stream just went kaput. So I have to adjust that really quickly. So apologies for that, but let me put that back on. 5:26. What a run by Patrick. He ended up 18 on the play. Yeah, I have seen the MLB expansion with Salt Lake. I don't think it would ever work. I think Salt Lake would be a terrible market for MLB on so many levels. Norman Price is the man who is injured, by the way. Norman Price, number 72, the guard. He is down right now. So a brief stoppage in play. But here's why I think it would never work. Besides the fact that it's a small market, besides the fact that it's an outdoor stadium and April's going to be brutal, you're not going to get fans there. Oh, my favorite horse logo. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'll get back to that. The problem with Salt Lake is that they can't play games on Sundays. You cannot play games on Sundays in Salt Lake. The Jazz don't do it. Minor League Baseball, when they do it, they draw about 50% less. The movie theaters make no money on Sundays in Salt Lake. There are actual reports that show that Sundays, very heavy Mormon population, and you're not going to draw 30,000 fans to a game on Sundays, and that's when most teams make their money. That's when most teams get their fans, is on Sundays for baseball. So I don't see how a Salt Lake team would work. I just don't see it. But more MILB teams coming in too. What cities do you think would be good for a minor league baseball team? Now that's interesting. That's interesting. I think Eastern Long Island could be very good. Eastern Long Island could be a very, very good market for that. Because they don't have anything. Eastern Long Island, I mean, the Long Island Ducks draw very, very good crowds, but that's the Atlantic League, that's independent, and that's really, that's like the middle of the island. But especially during the summertime, there's a lot of people out in Eastern Long Island. A lot of people out there. You might be able to get some families there. That for not AAA team, but you might be able to get some single A team, a double A team even. I think out by that could be a very, very good pick. Portland obviously would be very, very good. Obviously, they lost it because they had to redo the stadium for the Timbers, which I don't think they're regretting. I mean, that was a great trade-off, but Portland would be a very good market if they can build the stadium. I think those are some good options. Those are some very good options. Do I see Salt Lake getting an NHL team? I just don't think that market's big enough to support more than one. Maybe NHL, but I don't see it. I just don't see it. What markets outside of Seattle and Vegas do you see getting an NBA game in the future? NBA game? I would say maybe like internationally probably. I would say some places in Canada like Vancouver probably get one. First and 10 at the 48-yard line. We are back. Norman Price was the man injured. That's why there was a stoppage, but we were back. Cone drops back. Crow route. It is caught and down at the 44-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. Catch there made by Landon Akers, who had a shocker of a punt return before. Just completely misplayed it. Does redeem himself there with a gain of 4 on that crow route. XFL Tank Bowl. I've not watched a horse race at Belmont. I've never been to Belmont. I passed by it many times. I've been to UBS, but I've never been to Belmont. Never been to a horse race. But I do love watching the horse from Schenectady. If you are a Mike Francesa fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Handoff there to Patrick. It's 4 on the play. All right, so the horse logo. Honestly, favorite horse logo? I mean, there's some good ones. Can't really mess up a horse logo. Can't really mess up a horse logo. 3rd and 2, incomplete pass, intended target on the play was Dion Yelder. We'll see if they go for it here. I know it's probably not the best. But I don't know what it is. I really like the Baltimore Stallions logo from the CFL. I don't know what it is. Oh, Seattle absolutely deserves to be an NBA city. 4th and 2, they are going to go for it from the 40-yard line. Here we go. 3:30 left in the first quarter. Cone, back there. Handoff. Patrick, needed 2. He got 3, maybe 4. Either way, it is a first down. Just give it to Patrick, who has been a bulldozer today. Jacques Patrick already has 30 yards rushing, had a 31-yard screen pass that was wiped up because of a holding penalty. He has been very, very good today, averaging 6 yards per carry very early on. He's going to get a breather while the Brahmas have first down at the 37-yard line. Swing pass, and that goes absolutely nowhere. John Hillman with the catch, loses about 2 on the play. Second and 11, ball at the 38-yard line. I can't believe a 2-6 team has a chance to make the playoffs. Not just that, a 2-6 team not only has a chance to make the playoffs, but a 6-2 team might miss the playoffs. We might see a 7-3 team. Technically speaking, the Renegades go 4-6 to make the playoffs. Screen pass. It is caught by Hillman. Hillman down at the 36-yard line. So gain of 3 on the play, 3rd and 8. And a 7-3 team might miss, which is just, in my mind, absurd. I hate how they did it, especially because everyone plays each other. Everyone plays each other. There was no reason to... It should have just been the 2 division winners and 2 wild cards. It should have just been that. Who's great? Cowboys QB Staubach or Aping? Staubach, it's not even close. Aikman was good. He was never the best quarterback in football. Staubach was the best quarterback in football, to speak. What Steelers champion do you say was the best? I said 78. I would say 78 too, as well. I mean, their defense was phenomenal, and that was really Bradshaw played well. 79, the defense was not that good. 3rd and 8, ball is caught on the slant route, gain of 7 on the play. So 1 yard shy. You have to imagine they're going for it. It's Landon Akers on the grab. Because really, here's how you have to look at the Steelers teams. They were all great. 74, 75, Bradshaw was not very good. He was not very good. They were winning in spite of him. 79, the defense was not very good compared to the standards. 78, it was one of the best teams ever assembled. So I would say 78. Thoughts on the Blue Jackets firing coach Brad Larson for just 2 years on the job? I mean, they weren't very good, so I don't have a huge problem with it. First down, they actually gave him the first down. They actually gave him the first down on that. Not sure about the spot, but either way, Brahmas get a first down. 51 seconds left in this opening quarter. Orlando leading 8-0. Handoff goes to Patrick. Patrick has a bit of a hole. 25 spins down to 24-yard line. Brought down on the play by number 38, Marcus Murphy. Gain of 4. Or gain of 5, we're going to say. 2nd and 7. Let's Go Brahmas chant has started. That's awesome. That's awesome. Glad to see San Antonio fans come out and support their team, even though they're not very good. On a scale of 0 to 10, how confident are you that the Suns will beat the Clippers? 10. I'm at a 10. I basically have enough money to buy tickets for one playoff game. Enough expendable money to buy tickets for one game. I'm not buying it for this round. I'm going to wait till the second round. I'm that confident. Out route is caught by Patrick down at the 20-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. So 3rd and 2 as we start the second quarter. The Brahmas on a drive. They are in the red zone. They lead, or they trail rather, 8-0. New Orleans needs to get back into the AAA game. They drew very good crowds. Yeah, I would say so. But then again, speaking of the horse logos, the old Broncos logo with the D, I think is the best. But I do like the Baltimore Stallions logo. All right. Right now, also on Fox, again, USFL, Philadelphia against Memphis. It's 27-23, 4th and 6. Ball at the 34-yard line. Would see that U7 NFL team should have one again. Bring back the triangles. Bring back the Dayton triangles. Look, San Diego and St. Louis deserve to have teams. Absolutely. San Diego and St. Louis absolutely deserve teams. All right, 4th and 6 in the USFL. Escapes the sack, fires to the sticks. That is well underthrown by White. Incomplete pass. Stars win. Stars get the victory. 27-23. I will say, very good game. Very good game. They have to figure out the pace of play, though. They have to figure it out. I think we're going to see some more rule changes going forward. Because the last thing they want is games taking over 3 hours. And this USFL game took 3 hours, 10 minutes to complete. Which is longer than what an NFL game takes to complete. Also, I hate Memphis's unis. If it was black lettering, I would love them. But you can't have white lettering on bright yellow. No one can see it. No one can read the names. I do love Philly's unis. Philly's unis look nice. Memphis, they have good unis. You just change the lettering to black lettering. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So Case Cook takes a knee. Stars when they open a game. They go to 1-0. The Showboats go to 0-1. There's another game coming up in the USFL 2. Birmingham is coming up next. There. Again, the real test with the USFL this year is, are they going to make money? Because the whole idea of the hub model was to save money. That was the whole purpose of playing every game in Birmingham last year. Now you have 4 hubs, which doesn't make any sense. I would get 2 hubs. I would get 1 hub. I would get if every team played at home. But 4 hubs, you're traveling the exact same amount. It just doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Their promotions look good. I will say their promotion game, they stepped that up big time. So the schedule for that. So we'll see. We'll see. But I don't get why there's no team in Cannon. I don't get why you have the Pittsburgh Maulers and you have the New Jersey Generals and you don't have a team in Cannon. But Pittsburgh and New Jersey are playing in Cannon. So there's no home team for Cannon to support. It's not like the cities mean anything. Unless you're in Birmingham, Memphis, or Michigan, I guess Detroit, the cities mean nothing. The cities mean absolutely nothing. So why not just put a team in Cannon, increase revenue that way? They're playing games in Canada anyway. Why not? Just doesn't make sense. 3rd and 3. Ball at the 20-yard line. We are officially starting the second quarter in this XFL game. Again, this game is on ESPN2 between the Guardians and the Brahmas. 3rd and 3. Cone drops back. They bring a blitz. It's fired to the end zone. It is bobbled and incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Intended target was TJ Vasher. They went for it earlier on 4th down. They got it. 4th and 3. My guess is they're sending the field goal unit out, and they will. They are going to bring in one of the best kickers in the XFL, John Parker Romo. What former MLB city should have a team again? My pick is Oakland or St. Louis. I would say, let's watch this kick first. Parker Romo, 38 yards. What the heck was that angle? That kick is no good. There's a timeout on the play, though. Timeout on the play. What was that angle? Why was the angle... I don't care if the kick didn't count. Why was the angle not behind the goalpost or behind the kicker? What the heck was that angle? But Orlando going to call a timeout. So they have 2 left. Maybe they had too many men on the field and they didn't want to get called for a 5-yard penalty. Maybe that was it. Stanley Cup pick. I got the Hurricanes. They just seem due. The Hurricanes just seem due. Then again, Boston, I mean, with the regular season they had, it wouldn't shock me if they did their thing. But I got Carolina. I got Carolina. But former MLBC that should have a team again. I mean, Oakland, once they lose the A's. St. Louis, no, that's a Cardinals town. 38 yards. Kick is up by Parker Romo. That one splits the uprights. It is good. The Brahmas are on the board. 8-3 ball game. So a long drive there. Culminates in 3 points. 12 plays, 45 yards. Took over 6 minutes. And it's now a 5-point game. San Antonio used timeout for the on the challenge. Because they blew their challenge on the pass interference. All right, also the crowd in Birmingham doesn't look... I mean, I'm not sure if they're using both sides of the stadium. If they're using both sides, it actually doesn't look that bad. Actually looks pretty good. The real test is not Birmingham. It's not any of the cities with teams. That's not the test. The test is the travel cost and the teams that aren't in cities. How much did I miss from this game? Great drive to start off for Orlando. Jordan Thomas with an octopus. They went with that goal line fade tremendously on the 2-point conversion and on the touchdown and worked wonders. 8-3 game. Pretty back and forth. Yeah, I'll do USFL starting week 4. Because next 2 weeks I'm going to do XFL. It would just be way too much of a play to do both XFL and USFL. And on top of that, week 3 is in the NFL draft. Dedrick Thomas on the return down to the 22-yard line. But week 4 we will start doing USFL. I will say with the USFL, I do love their TV times. It's very consistent. You know what networks the games are going to be on. You know what times they're going to be on. Very different from the XFL model, which I criticized a lot. Dormady going back in. What do you think about the USFL fan passes? There was a fan team and game pass that sounded like they were NFTs for those that went to go to the game to preview went. I mean, at least it's not the NFT section that they used to have. It's not that. I'm not a huge NFT guy. I think NFTs actually are kind of stupid. What a sack! What a sack on the play! It's Drew Beasley. Had half a sack on the last drive, comes back and delivers the blow. Drew Beasley making it look easy as he takes him down for a loss of 7. Dormady, third time he's gone down today. Win-loss prediction for the Gators in 2023, 13-0. After that spring game, they're going to be very, very good. No, I mean, look, I don't know. The quarterback situation's a mess. The QB situation's a mess. I don't trust that offense one bit. Obviously, SEC schedule, it's going to be tough. Look, I like Billy. I like him a lot. I wanted to hire him, but I think we kind of got screwed over with the whole Rashada thing, and we're left with no plan. We are left with no plan whatsoever. So, I think Florida's probably a 4-win team next year. It's not great. It's not great. All right, 2nd and 17. Orlando had a great opening drive, and ever since they've been going backwards. What sport do I plan to make a channel for next? I'll answer that question after this play. It's a draw play. Goes to Darrington down at the 19-yard line, I should say. So gain of 4 on the play. 3rd and 13. What sports do I plan to do a channel for next? Wouldn't be for a bit. I want to get JG8 uploading way more consistently. I want to get JG7 going about every day. Obviously, JG9, I want to keep that every day. But I've talked about before, 11 of the top 30 YouTube channels in the world, in terms of subs, are cricket. And there is no cricket channel out there. There is no cricket history channel. It would take a lot of research, as that's a curl route well short of the first down. So a 3-and-out, back-to-back 3-and-outs. Charleston Rambo on the grab, but not even close. Down to the 26-yard line. There is no real cricket history channel out there. I feel like there would absolutely be a market for that. Because again, 11 of the top 30 channels. YouTube is big in India. That's probably where it's biggest. Problem with the cricket channel, obviously, number one, finding footage, doing research, doing all that. It's a lot tougher to find sources in different languages. Fake punt! What on earth? 4th and 5, fake punt! Going for it! It is caught! Oh my goodness! 30, 25, 20, 15, 10! Down at the 4-yard line! The Guardians with nothing to lose! And they go for it on 4th and 5 on their own 26-yard line! KD Cannon! Oh my goodness! Mac Brown to KD Cannon! What can Brown do for you? He can flip the field just like that! What a play! 1 and 7, you got nothing to lose. 4th and 5, they're going for it on their own 26-yard line. Whoa, my goodness! It's a gain of 69 yards. 69-yard gain. First down at the 4-yard line. Out route caught, gain of 1. And the graphic was wrong. It said Dedrick Thomas. It was KD Cannon. Oh my goodness. What a fake punt. You know, you're 1 and 7. Why not? You're probably not going to have a job in 2 weeks. Why not? That was well designed too. It wasn't even like San Antonio wasn't ready for it. They just had the guy in motion, had him run a swing route. It's beautiful. Handoff goes to Darrington. He's trying to bounce to the outside. Breaks a second tackle. Trying to push his way in. They're going to mark him down at the 2-yard line. Oh, man. The Guardians have to score a touchdown after that. And that was actually a 69-yard gain. Yeah, cricket would draw an India audience, Australian audience, England audience. It would draw a big audience. I would really want to do a cricket channel at some point. Obviously, the problem with cricket is finding footage, doing the research, because if it's India, it'll be a different language, have to translate and then rely on the translation, and RPM would not be great. Darrington, handoff, touchdown. Devin Darrington, have yourself a day. 35 yards on the ground for Darrington so far. The Guardians look like they're going to back-to-back 3-and-outs. And then a fake punt completely flips the momentum of this game. You figure they're going to go for... They're actually marking at the 1-yard line. See, if I'm the Guardians, I'm marking at the 5. I'm doing that back shoulder throw to Thomas again. They can't stop it. 2 for 2. Do it until they can't stop it. But they're going to mark it at the 1-yard line. They're going to go for 1. They're marking the 2-yard line, go for 1. But they do have 1-on-1 with Thomas. Oh, no, they have a guy that got sent over. Now it's a slant route over the middle. It is incomplete. They were ready for the play to Thomas. The safety came over. Good coverage there. And then Eli Rogers, the intended target there. Nothing doing. But 14-3 ball game following a 69-yard fake punt. I'll tell you, the Guardians are not far off with Dormandy under center. You get an actual coach in there, and Dormandy comes back for year 2. Honestly, if they keep the divisions the same and whatnot, I could actually see the Guardians doing some damage next year. I could legitimately see it. They've been a much better team in the second half of the season. Darrington's been running like crazy. I love that 1-2 combo of Darrington and Martin. I think Martin's the most underrated player in the XFL. I think some teams should sign him because he never goes down on first contact. I would love for the Jags to sign him as a goal line back. I would absolutely love for the Jags to sign him. Because we need a goal line back. We need a goal line back badly. So I would love to see that. Defense needs some work, but honestly, the offense has been a lot of fun to watch lately, and it was not like that with Paxton Lynch. It was not like that whatsoever with Paxton Lynch. Yeah, cricket would bring in the Caribbean fans too. There would probably be a lot of stuff I could do on the 07 Cricket World Cup in the West Indies. There's probably a lot of like disorganized stuff I could do about that. Just finding the footage and everything. But once I get to a point where I can upload consistently on all 3 channels and it's not a burden, then we're good to go. Because that's really the tough part. That is really the tough part. Because it's a lot right now. It is absolutely a lot right now. Touchdown Birmingham, by the way, in the nice play to Watkins. As low snap, kick is good. So 7-0 game, Birmingham. Against New Jersey. Over on Fox. Nice grab by Watkins. Rolls into the end zone for the touchdown. I would love to do a cricket channel at some point. I would absolutely love to do a cricket channel. Because if that takes off, that can be huge internationally. Because I know I'm pretty limited with football and baseball in terms of it's mainly an American audience. Cricket, you can go international. What is cricket? It's basically like baseball, but it's basically like baseball. It's one of those sports that's tough to explain, but if you watch it, it's actually very easy to pick up on. Very, very easy to pick up on cricket. T20, I love T20. Test games I'm not crazy about, but T20 where it takes 3 hours, I love it. Why don't you do a miscellaneous sports channel where you can cover everything else? Probably not, because the algorithm doesn't like that. The algorithm does not like that at all. The algorithm and all the YouTube experts and everyone, they say different audiences, different channels. You will not be able to successfully grow a channel, do what you want to do, if you have everything on one channel in different sports and whatnot. So that's why. Because people that would watch a cricket video are not the same that would watch a basketball video, and not the same that would watch a golf video. So that's why. That's why I did a separate channel for JG8 and for JG7. When's the last time University of Florida played against USF? I don't think it was that long ago. I feel like, didn't they? I feel like they just played, like last year. And that kickoff, only out to the 13-yard line. Only out to the 13-yard line. Cricket is a bug. The USFL, the presentation for the USFL actually looks very, very clean. The scoreboard looks nice. Scoreboard looks very, very nice. Would those ultimately worthless multi-purpose donuts have been appropriate venues for American cricket grounds? Probably not, because the pitch would be too small, I think. The pitch would be too small. If Shaq stayed in Orlando, they win a title before MJ retired. I don't think anything was stopping the MJ and the Bulls. I don't think anything was stopping him. Curl route is caught down with a 30-yard line and a 17 on the play. Catch there made by TJ Vasher. Does anyone else get an Ohio commercial watching on ESPN Plus? I'm watching on ESPN2, so I cannot vouch for that. But I have seen some more commercials in places that there probably should not have been. I'm still struggling with cricket. The last T20 World Cup final was awesome. Yeah, I'm struggling with like the stats necessarily. Drop pass, curl route over the middle, drop there by Elise Mack. So 2nd and 10. Like reading the scores, understanding the stats, like that's kind of tough. But watching it is a lot of fun. If Mike Goldberg was at your front door, have him come on and commentate the game with me. I just say the opposite of what he says. How's it going, Brian? How's it going? When soccer, so soccer would be very popular. The problem with soccer, copyright is brutal. The other problem is that there's different audiences for different leagues in soccer. So I don't know how I would structure a soccer channel. I might do an American soccer channel, and then eventually would expand to like a European, like a Premier League soccer channel or something like that, an English soccer channel. Rugby, I'm not sure has a big enough audience to warrant a channel just yet. Like not like untapped market wise in terms of, I love watching rugby, but in terms of devoting a full channel to it, I'm not sure the potential would be there necessarily. Just yet, at least. Just yet. Surprised DC lost against Orlando. Oh, that was the upset of the year. No one saw that coming. 3rd and 8. Cone. Goes to Hillman. Hillman trying to get the first down. He does. He spins for the first down. Needed 8. He muscled his way forward for all 8 of those yards and got the first down on the play. So if I were to do a soccer channel, in terms of copyright, in terms of all that, I think an American soccer channel would be the way to go first. Where I focus on just America, NASL, MLS. Probably do that. I could probably see that being the 4th channel as well. Probably wouldn't take too much to get off the ground either. So, I'm not opposed to doing that. 1st and 10. Handoff. Hillman. Gain of 4, let's say. So if I were to do another channel, the next one will either be cricket or it will be American soccer. I'll say that right now. NBA, copyright is brutal for NBA. And finding the footage is very, very tough for historical stuff. Another injury on the play. Guardians look like that's Trayvon Sanders, number 99, who was down in pain, the defensive tackle. That's a 3rd injury today. So the clock is stopped. Over on Fox, USFL, New Jersey, Birmingham, 7-0, New Jersey trying to drive them at midfield. An Idaho channel. I could absolutely do an Idaho channel. Just a channel focused on the Kibbe Dome. Everything that's happened in the Kibbe Dome. The test match between England and South Africa took place in 1939 and became known as a timeless test. I don't know a whole lot about cricket history. I have to learn that. So I have never heard of the timeless test. So let me read up on that right now. Let me read up on that. Wait, no limitations. Isn't that what? Wait. Am I crazy? I thought there was no limitation of time in cricket. Am I? I thought you play until 50 innings or until there's until 20 wickets. So what am I missing? I thought you played. I thought you play 50. You play 50 innings, or until you get out for 20 wickets. So there is no time. So what is the? So what is the timeless? I'm confused. I'm confused. I guess there is a 5-day limit, but does it ever get? I'm not sure. Again, I need to learn a lot about cricket before I could even think about starting a channel there. Even think about it. So probably American soccer would be next. Premier League is probably hard. Yeah, La Liga's hard. MLS, I don't know. That's the thing. MLS, I think I'd be okay. I think MLS and American soccer, I would be more than okay, which is why I think I could do it. Like, let me see. Let me filter by years took place today. I would think I would be okay. I'm trying to see if there's other. There's YouTube channels out there that do it. Probably check later because the games are taking place right now, so that's probably why. There's not anything just yet, but I wouldn't think it would be terrible. I wouldn't think it would be terrible. You know, a lot of historical NBA games that got wiped off YouTube. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Super Bowls that would have been 4-game sweeps. Oh, there would have been a lot of them. There would have been a lot of them. 2nd and 6 at the 44. I'll go year by year. I'll think about that. 2nd and 6. Handoff goes to Hillman. Up the middle. Gain of 9 on the play. Maybe 8. Or down to the 48, I should say. And when I say gain of 9, I meant down to the 49 or 48. Not gain of 9 or 8. It's gain of 4. All right, so Super Bowls would have been 4-game sweeps. Okay, Super Bowl 1 would have been a 4-game sweep. Absolutely, Super Bowl 1. Super Bowl 2 would probably have been a 4-game sweep. I think the Packers were just so much better. I don't see Lombardi losing to that. Super Bowl. Let me think. 3rd and 2. He drops it. Cone drops it, picks it back up, and he goes down. Just a disaster of play. Loses about 10 yards there and credited for the sack. Number 8, Terrence Smith. Cone just completely mishandled that, and then it just went from bad to worse. 4th and 12 at the 38, and San Antonio looked like they had something going for a second. They will be forced to punt this one away with about 6:30 left. Justin Rogers back to return. Brad Wing on the punt. Got down to the 15 on his first attempt. This one at the 15. Nice punt there. Rogers goes down the 15. So nice coverage there. Flips the field to some extent. Orlando taking over at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 with about 6:30 left. All right, so 1 and 2 would have been sweeps for sure. 9 would not have been. 10 would not have been. 12 might have been. 12 might have been. I could see 12. I could see the Doomsday defense just destroying Denver's offense in 4 games. Super Bowl 14, I mean, it was close, but I think in the end the Steelers win all 4. I think that was probably the closest it would have been. I think the Steelers win all 4. Handoff goes to Darrington. He gets balled up at the line, loses 2 yards on the play. Sean Williams Jr. was in on the tackle. 2nd and 12. And it's DeAndre Francois in at quarterback now. Is Dorothy hurt? Again, I don't have any audio at all, so I don't know if he's hurt or not. But DeAndre Francois is in for Dormady. But he has his helmet on, so I'm not sure why that's the case. But 12, I think, would have been. 14 would have been. Let me think. 2nd and 12. Francois going to try running. And he gets about 4 yards there. I'm not sure why they're switching quarterbacks. Dorndy's been playing lights out today. Not lights out, but he's been playing well. 3rd and 8 at the 17. Let's see. 16. Bengals probably take 1. I don't trust David Woodley to win a game. I think 17 would have been. I don't trust David Woodley whatsoever to win a game. So I'll say 17 would have been a 4-game sweep. 20 would have absolutely been a 4-game sweep. Bears-Patriots, forget about it. Timeout, Guardians. Normandy calls a timeout with the play clock running down. 5:05 left in the first half. Let's see, 24 would have absolutely been. Niners-Broncos, forget about it. Would any of the Bills ones have been? 25 wouldn't have been. 28 wouldn't have been. 27 wouldn't have been. 26 maybe. 26 I think maybe would have been a 4-game sweep. 15 no, I think the Eagles take 1. 29 would have been, you could play that game 100 times. The Niners are winning all 100 times. So 29 would have been 30. Look, I think Neil O'Donnell would have had 1 game at least. Unless it was Barry Switzer. 3rd and 8. Drag routes caught. Can he get the first? He does. He extends and gets the first down. Eli Rogers. First down for the Guardians. 30, I don't think would have been. I think the Steelers probably take 1. 31 would have been. Packers are winning all of them against the Pats. 33, I think, could have been. 35, I'm going to say no. I don't think 35 would have been. I think there would have been 1 or 2 games where Dilfer would have laid an egg and would have cost the Ravens the game. Somehow gets out of it. Darrington gets 9 on the play. Makes himself skinny, goes underneath everyone, and gets 9 yards on the play. Yeah, 35. 35, I think Trent Dilfer would have had a stinker. And they would have had 1 game. Handoff. Darrington once again picks up 6 and gets the first down. 3:42 left. 36 no. 37. I mean, the Bucs knew their plays, so I would say 37 would have been. The Bucs knew their plays, so I would say yes on that. 38, look, as much as I love the Panthers and what they did that Super Bowl, I think 38, I think the Pats sweep them. I think that's a sweep. 41, I think, would be a sweep with the way Rex Grossman plays. Francois runs out at the 45-yard line. I don't know why he's so aligned to 60. That's a typo. 2nd and 5, but there is a flag on the play, so bring it back. 35 would have probably been Rams and 6. Rams in 5 or 6. Holding on the Guardians. It's on Abdul Beecham. So bring it back. 1st and 20 at a 30-yard line. 38, I think, would have been a sweep. 41, I think, would have been a sweep. 42 is probably Pats in 5. 43, the Cards were not very good that year, but with the way Kurt Warner plays, I think they would have won 1. 48, I think the Broncos take 1 at least. I don't think Manning's going to sweep in 4 games. 29-yard line. Francois going to take it himself. He gets about 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 16. Let me think. Other ones that would have been. Honestly, I think the Panthers, I think Panthers-Broncos. Panthers probably win if that's a 7-game series. Because Manning's arm was shot by that point. Other ones, I think the last one probably was 41. That would have been a 4-game sweep. I think 41 was probably the last time you were getting a 4-game sweep. Speaks of the parity of the league. 2nd and 17. Francois behind his target, incomplete pass. Jordan Thomas, the intended man. 3rd and 17, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Again, the Brahmas get the ball to start the second half. So if they can get a stop here on 3rd and 17, get a score, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's a good question. So I think there would have been a few. I think there absolutely would have been a few. So what I say, 1, 2, going down the line. 1, 2, I said 12 would have been. I said 14 probably would have been. 17, 20, 24, 26, 29, 31, and 37 and 41. So I think 12. 47 would not have been. No, 47. Ravens Niners, I think the Niners take one. I think the Niners absolutely take one. Send a link to watch the game. It's on ESPN 2. It is on ESPN 2. So if you can find an ESPN 2 stream, there you go. Yeah, Brahmas, the games are really watchable. They have no QBs on the roster with anything. Yeah, Jack Cohn, I mean, you're starting Jack Cohn. I mean, they had to sign Paxton Lynch. That tells you everything. If you're relying on Paxton Lynch, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Now, 47 with how hot the Ravens were. Yeah, no, but the Niners were a good team. Niners were an awfully good team. Showboats did not win. No, the Showboats lost. The Stars won that game 27-23. I feel like the two worst teams in the NFL at the end of the season have to play each other in a primetime game on a Saturday before the playoffs for the toilet bowl. That'd be terrible. They would never agree to that. Yeah, Falcons would absolutely take one. No, Falcons would absolutely take one. 33 and 51. They would have taken one. 36 would have been Rams in 5. 41 would have probably been in 5, maybe 6. That Bears defense was decent. Yeah, but I don't trust Rex Grossman. And plus, you have to remember, Manning did not play great that Super Bowl. He won MVP, but he really didn't deserve it. The offense did not look good, and they still won pretty handily. Even if they didn't fill the Liberty Bowl, at least the Showboats didn't have the embarrassment that Bud Adams had with the Oilers in '97, where 3/4 of a stadium was Steelers Nation one time. You know, the Showboats fans came out. I will say the Showboats fans came out. They sold half the stadium, filled it. I don't think they sold the other half, but it looked good on TV. What was the Showboats attendance? I guess 27,000. I would probably guess 27,000. Let's see. The official attendance number for the Showboats. They didn't announce anything yet. That is bizarre. Why they not offer a figure yet? You got to offer a figure. I mean, USFL said packed house in Memphis, even though it was half full. You can't say it was a packed house and then not offer a figure. Yeah, there's no official figure for the Memphis attendance today, which is bizarre. Vipers game, it was 10,967. Vipers Roughnecks. Kind of disappointed, not gonna lie. The Roughnecks attendance, it was a lot better in 2020. Yeah, I feel bad for Brahmas fans. I really do. Marlins were 500 for the first time since May 3rd last year. That's not as long as I thought. Ironically, lost to the D-backs to go to 500 and never went over again until now. Did not realize that. 3rd and 17. Francois, they're handing it off. What on earth, Jim? What? They're handing it off on 3rd and 17. And now the Brahmas are going to burn a... Oh, come on, Heinz Ward. You're kidding me. Thank you. It took 11 seconds, but they do get the timeout off. Hand up went to Dedrick Thomas. I'm not sure why they called the draw play there, knowing that the Brahmas are going to burn a timeout. All right. I would have called it with 154. I don't know why they didn't do that. They're keeping it private for now. I don't know why they're keeping it private, though. The number looked good. Like, you keep information private if it doesn't look good. If the numbers look good, reveal it to the public. It's an easy PR win. It makes no sense. You probably got a solid 25,000 fans there today. Why would you not do that? Arizona. Booming punt by Mac Brown, and it's fielded at the 5-yard line. I don't know why you're fielding that at the 5, but 15, 20, spin move, down to 22. Why are you fielding that at the 5-yard line? Questionable special teams today by the Brahmas all the way around. First, the return by Akers where he completely misplayed the ball. Then to not let it go into the end zone, possibly. And you get the 35-yard line. I don't get it. But either way, 1st and 10, ball at the 22-yard line with 1:39 left. Brahmas get the ball to start the second half. Again, they need this game to stay in the hunt. They need a lot of work to make the playoffs. They got to win 2, Renegades have to lose 2, and the tiebreakers have to go their way. They split the season series. It's a short pass over the middle, gain of 3 on the play, caught by Patrick. You know, I checked Twitter, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. Which makes no sense. The numbers look good. The numbers look really good. This is an easy PR win. Take it. 2nd and 6. Cone fires past the sticks. It's caught down at the 40-yard line. Catch on the play there made by Nick Holly. Holly, if you hear me, his second catch of the day. Gain of 14, good for a first down. 1:12 left. And Brahmas had 1 timeout left. They used 1 to force the punt. They used another one on the failed challenge on the pass interference, which I always said from the start, don't challenge that. Wait for a hands to the face penalty. Gain of 5 on that curl route. Catch there made by Fred Brown. 2nd and 5. 50 seconds left. They're going really slow. Again, they can double up. They get the ball to start the half. Another short pass. It's caught by Patrick, and Patrick bulldozes his way forward into Orlando territory for a first down. Patrick's had a very good game today for the Brahmas. A very, very good game. 33 rushing yards, 23 receiving yards, and a 31-yard screen that got wiped off because of a holding penalty. The Guardians burn timeout. Wait, why are the Guardians calling timeout? Why would the Guardians stop the clock? That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Oh, injury. Oh, that's why. Injured player. That's why. And I'm watching this with no audio, so I can only see what's happening on the screen, and they just show the injured player. So that explains why they call timeout. I was going to say, otherwise, Terrell Buckley, that made no sense. But they are in Orlando territory at the 40-yard line. The chance to double down, getting the ball to start the second half. Again, they need to win this game. If they don't win this game, the South Division is decided. Houston has clinched the 1 seed. Arlington would be the 2 seed in the South. They would play for the championship, for the South Division championship, and a shot at the XFL title. And one of the games is Saturday, one of them is Sunday in 2 weeks. I'm not doing the Saturday game because I'll be at the draft, but I am doing the Sunday game. I'll get off the plane and I'll do that game. First down, play action. Cone, going deep. He's got Holly. 15-10, down at the 6-yard line. Nick Hunley, if you hear me, gain of 34 on the play. And good for a Brahmas first down. What a throw, wide open. They bid on the play action, and now why are the Brahmas calling timeout? Wait, why? Oh, this makes no sense. Because now Orlando could get the ball back with time to do something of their own. You don't need to score quickly here. You don't need to call timeout here. This doesn't make any sense. You'll have 3 plays at least, but I don't get it. I would much rather, because now if you score quickly, $71. If you score quickly, Orlando could get the ball with a good kick or kickoff out of bounds, and they could do something. I think you left too much time on. At the 6-yard line, I don't know why you're worried about scoring with 31 seconds left. You get down to the line, call a play with like 24 seconds left, and you have plenty of time, plus you have your timeout. Dumb decisions? Oh, that doesn't even scratch the surface for dumb decisions. Trust me, I've seen Hines Ward, I've seen these coaches do some really stupid things. Terrell Buckley has done some dumb things this year. I've seen some dumb things. And now they're handing it off. It goes to Patrick! He's got it! Patrick with his second rushing touchdown. Or, not his second touchdown. I was thinking Darrington for a second. Patrick with his first rushing touchdown of the game. 14-9. And just like that, the Brahmas get points right when they need it. Patrick with a great game so far. He's got 62 yards from scrimmage. And we'll see what they do here. I'm taking the Orlando challenge off the board because they cannot challenge a play in this first half because I don't have any timeouts to work with. 72 Lakers or 96 Bulls? I'm taking 96 Bulls. I'm taking just about anyone. 96 Bulls, I'm taking over just about anyone. They're going for it from the 1 yard line. I don't agree with this either. Go for it from the 2. Again, there's no real difference between the 1 and the 2. Go for it from the 2 and then you can make it a 3-point game. This doesn't really change anything. But either way, play action, slammer. See, if you're going to call that play, go for it from the 5. He's running midway through the end zone anyway. Why are you... I don't get it. I just don't get it. Either way, but there is a flag. Hang on a second. There is a flag. So this might be pass interference. Hang on a second. But again, I don't get... If you're going to call that play, just do it from the 5-yard line. Buckley is by far and away the worst coach I've ever seen in my life. Jeff Saturday says hi. Is pass interference on Ty Smith, so they're going to redo it. So they're going for it from the 1. And this time they hand it off to Patrick, and this time he does get in. 14-10 ball game. Why were the Heat so bad in 07-08, just 2 years? Didn't everyone get hurt that year? I feel like everyone got hurt that year. So 14-10 ball game, 27 seconds left. And again, the Brahmas get the ball to start the half. So keep that in mind. They needed a drive, and they got it. It pains me that Hines Ward and Rod Woodson suck so much as head coaches. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Look, the player coaches have not really worked out this year. They've looked inept. Not counting Barlow, not counting Beck. They've looked pretty much inept. Woodson, Buckley, Ward have looked well. That kickoff is fielded at the 5-yard line. To the 20. He's got some room. Thomas to the 25, down to 27-yard line. Now the Guardians have no timeouts. So you have to figure with the league, just take it into the half. Just take it into the half. So they're just going to take a knee. That is halftime, folks. That is halftime. It is a 14-10 ball game, a do-or-die game. A do-or-die game for the Brahmas. When they needed it most, they got some points. All right, so let's bring all the score bugs back. While we have this halftime break, if you have any questions, you just fire away in the chat. Let's also take a moment to explain what's happening on all the channels. JG9, new video dropped today. Browns-related draft controversy. Really crazy video about a trade that the Browns did not pull off at the 1980 NFL draft, and it cost them badly. It might have cost them a Super Bowl. It was that bad. JG7, we have a lot of new videos on there. In the last week, let's see what videos I've done. Let's see what videos I've done in the past week. Let's keep losing track. No JG8 vids this week, but we will get some more content coming out. I have one vid that got sent to my editor. It's TCU related. I have another vid that I'm working on thanks to another editor that I just hired who's really, really good. Hardware Pod. Go subscribe to his channel. He's really, really good. Does a lot of history videos too. Very similar style to mine, so if you like my vids, you'll love his vids. So in the last week, I've done videos on the baseball channel on... done 4 videos. Tony Phillips, his bizarre retirement from the White Sox, his one-day retirement. A video on the Brewers, guy who got second base at the All-Star game and never played second base. Dumb decisions. Alex Cora calling a sacrifice bunt in the 9th inning with 1 on and nobody out, down by 2. Made no sense. And then the last video that just dropped, Doyle Alexander and his drama with the Yankees in 1982. So keep that in mind. A lot of videos coming up. I have a new video that's going to come up in the next week. I have to work on it and then send the script over to my editor for the baseball channel. It's something Mets related. Something bizarre Mets related. New video coming out tomorrow on JG9. It is going to be something on the Baltimore Colts and a bizarre draft controversy they had in the 70s. So I'll work on that vid after the stream, after I get dinner after the stream. Also have a... I'll try to get a JJ7 video out as well tomorrow, but no promises there. We have 2 XFL streams tomorrow. We have the game at 12 p.m., so that's going to be an early start time for me. 12 p.m., and we have a game at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is the big one. St. Louis, Seattle. Biggest game in XFL history, XFL 3.0 history. Biggest game by far. It's going to be a great game. A lot on the line. The Dome is going to be rocking for that one, so go check that out. Join me for that tomorrow. Patreon if you want early access to videos. I'll switch my thought. NFL Trivia. We have that on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a very special NFL Draft Trivia edition. So everything is going to be NFL Draft related. So keep that in mind. Should be a fun week. A hectic week on the channel, but a fun week nonetheless. Let's see. Your thoughts on the Cowboys theoretically trading with the Jets from 26-13 just to get Robinson? I wouldn't do it. Way too big of a price to pay for a running back. Way too big of a price. 80s Isles, 98 Red Wings, 2010s Blackhawks, or 2023 Bruins. Let's see how the Bruins do in the playoffs before putting them in there. But 80s Isles were a different breed. 80s Isles, I'm taking them. I can't believe the Wolves are in the playoffs and they're in town in Denver. You bet I'm going. Yeah, that's going to be... Have a great time. Have a great time. That's going to be fun. Could JG7 introduce Morgana to a national audience? Probably not. I feel like that's a bit too well known. There's some videos on Morgana already, but we'll see. Whose marketing is worse, MLB or NHL? I feel like NHL. MLB's marketing this season's actually been pretty good. They've done a very good job promoting the new rules to the point where even if you're not a baseball fan, you know about the new rules. NHL, the marketing is not very good. Like Connor McDavid just had one of the best seasons in history. And nothing. Absolutely nothing. Should NBA go back to division winners getting top 3 seeds? No, you're basically, divisions mean nothing anyway in NBA right now. I wouldn't do it. New Jersey just scored. Dakota Prukop with the touchdown run, 7-6 ball game. Thoughts on Ravens giving Odell Beckham $16 million, not paying Lamar? I think the whole Lamar situation is crazy. I think Beckham, I get for 1 year. Look, 1 year it's not going to make a difference. You might as well spend the money. I just don't necessarily agree with it. I mean, the guy is coming off a major injury. The guy has, you got a QB situation in limbo. There's deferred payments. You're gonna have dead cap on this 3 years after. I don't like it. I don't like the move. I don't think the move makes a whole lot of sense. Again, we have halftime right now. It's 14-10. The Guardians are mathematically eliminated. Divisions mean nothing, though. I mean, divisions mean absolutely nothing. And I don't really want them to mean anything, because divisions mean something when you're actually playing the teams in your division more than you're playing the other teams. Like, it makes sense in the NFL because a lot of your schedule, a third of your schedule is in your division. Over a third of your schedule. MLB, it makes complete sense as to why there's divisions, because you're playing those teams like 12 times a year. NBA, you're playing everyone the exact same number of times, for the most part. I don't get it. I just don't get it. In a 14-10 bowl game, let's see the halftime stats. Jack Cohn, 15 for 18, 142 yards. Patrick having a great game. 39 yards rushing, 23 yards receiving. Nick Holley, big catch at the end of the half, 61 yards receiving on the day. For the Guardians, Dormandy was perfect. Then Francois came in. Mac Brown with a 69-yard fake punt. Devin Darrington has been on fire, over 5 yards per carry, 47 yards rushing. So that's where things stand as of now. If you want to go to the USFL game in Memphis with Michigan and Houston, it will cost you $10. And that's not bad, but I'm not sure what the draw would be. You're playing at a rundown stadium with two teams that are not in that market. I'm not sure what the draw is. Maybe it's just like the way I view prices, but I'm paying about what's the exact? Like, I'm paying $16 a ticket for Diamondbacks this year. I mean, you have to remember concessions and everything. So, like, when I go to D-backs games, it's $16 a ticket. That's what the season tickets where I sit come out to. $16 a ticket. If you go to all 81, it comes up to $16 a ticket. You got to bring a bottle of water in, and you get free refills. So I'm not spending any money at the games. So I'm very frugal like that. So I don't know. I'm not sure if $10. I mean, you can't really do it any lower, but I'm not sure how many people you're going to get for $10 to watch two teams that they don't care about. Will the USFL survive past this season? I don't know. And the reason why is because the whole purpose of the USFL was to save money with the hub model. And I don't know about the hub model anymore, because 4 hubs kind of defeats the whole purpose. 4 hubs, you're traveling just as much. Teams are on the road. Teams are traveling. So I'm not sure how a hub model with this does anything. Then again, the XFL, they have teams everywhere, and they have to fly out to all the games. Everyone's based in Arlington, so who knows? I don't think this is going to work out. I want it to. More football, the better, but I don't think it's going to. Just because I think they're going to lose more money on the hub model than I think, or than they think. They get a full season pass? Yes, full season pass. I'm not going to every game. Obviously, there's some games I can't go to. They have a game in 2 weeks on Wednesday against the Royals. I can't go to that because I'll be in KC for the draft. They have a game during the XFL Championship. I won't be going to that. They obviously, any games taking place during football season, any games on Sundays, any games interfering with Jaguars preseason, I'm not going to those. But I'm guessing 70 games I'll be able to go to, 65, 70 games. We'll see. I went to all 7 this past week. That was exhausting, but a lot of fun, but exhausting. Never done that before. All 7 games at the Homestead. It was a lot. It was absolutely crazy. USFL game, I mean, it's early. Just the pace of play, it moves way too slow. It moves way too slow for alternate football. I think that's the problem. It moves way too slow. Like, this game started, it was supposed to start at, 7:30 on Fox? By missing the last 40 minutes, a 69-yard fake punt by Orlando, and then San Antonio drove down the field, made it 14-10. Missed one of the best fake punts of the season. It's not the best fake punt, only because we had the St. Louis play from last week, but it was very, very good nonetheless. It feels like no one knows all the USFL teams, but a lot of people know all the XFL teams. I'm not sure about that. I mean, I don't think anyone really knows all the USFL teams, but I'm not sure how many people know all the XFL teams. But then again, there are ties to the city, so maybe you do. I think you're more likely to know all the XFL teams than the USFL teams because there are ties to the city. Half the teams in the USFL mean nothing. They could be anywhere for all we care. I find it ironic and a bit funny they almost missed a Royals D-backs game while you're in KC considering who Arizona is playing. Yeah. It is funny. I was in Cleveland when the D-backs played the Guardians last year. I went to that game because I was in Cleveland for the Hall of Fame game. And I was like, you know what, D-backs are in town. Let's do it. So I flew in and we went to the D-backs Guardians game that Wednesday. 96 Bulls or 82 Vandals. Oh, you know I'm taking the 82 Vandals. Is Paxton Lynch warming up? Don't even tell me. Please tell me Jack Cohn got hurt, and that's the only reason why I'm seeing Lynch throw. Because otherwise it makes no sense. Kickoff fielded at the 3. We are officially underway in the third quarter. Must-win game. A must-win game. For the Brahmas. XFL team identity is better marketed. I think it depends on the team. Like Guardians, I'm not sure. Vipers, I'm not sure. But Battlehawks, absolutely. It depends on the region. All right, 1st and 10. The Brahmas are going to get this ball. I know it is Jack Cohn in there, so I don't know why they show Pax so much. They're going to get this ball on their own 15-yard line. They have never led this game. 85 yards will do it, though. They need to win this game, otherwise their season is done. Handoff goes to Patrick, gain of 3. 2nd and 7. And in the XFL, I should note that Birmingham is driving. They are driving. They are at the 1-yard line. And the Knicks just beat the Cavs. The Knicks have just beat the Cavs. Right now they mark it at the 17-yard line, so 2nd and 8. Play action. Cohn, he's got time. He's going to fire. Patrick is wide open. A bit of a low throw, but he makes the catch out at the 32-yard line. So again, a 15 on the play. Good for a first down. Patrick, 37 yards, receiving 41 yards on the ground. He has been a workhorse today for the Brahmas. I should say in the USFL, Birmingham just kicked a 23-yard field goal, so 10-7 ball game there. All right, here we go. 31-yard line is where they're marking it. First down, handoff, goes to Patrick, and really for the first time today, he gets stuffed. For the first time today, the Guardians have an answer. It looked like it was Tigre Scales who came in and helped out with the tackle. Gerald Willis also coming in on the tackle. Rank each best of 7 system used in sports. 2-3-2, 2-2-1-1, or 3-4. I think 2-3-2 is the best. 3-4 is the worst. 3-4 makes no sense. But 2-3-2 is the best. 2-2-1-1, the problem is that there's too much travel and there's too much downtime. Like the NBA Finals take 2.5 weeks to complete, and that is absurd. Run by Cohn gets about 5 yards. 2-3-2 I really like. So I would say how you ranked it is the way I would do it. 2-3-2, 2-2-1-1, and then 3-4. Third and 5. Empty backfield for Cohn. Low snap, he recovers. Cohn fires. It is caught. He had room to run if he wanted to, but instead he decides to step in the pocket, look to the second level, and he finds his man. He finds Travis Tavonen. TT with the grab into Orlando territory, and good for a first down. How did Suns Clippers get on NBA TV? Because you can't put all the games on broadcast TV because of tomorrow's game's not on NBA TV, but They always have games on NBA TV for the first round because you have 8 series going on, and the games are going to have to take place at the same time because you can't play games in the afternoon on weekdays. Handoff goes to Patrick. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7. Who does 3-4? I don't know who does 3-4. I don't know who does 3-4. Oh, MLB used to do 3-4? Did not know that. Yeah, that's a really dumb system. Second and 4. Handoff goes to Patrick. Low tackle, and that was beautifully done. Beautiful tackle there by Terrence Plummer. Yeah, but Suns Clippers is probably going to be a rout. It'll be a rout. You know what format we should do? We should do 1-2-1-1-1. That's what we should do. Just mess everything up. One, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Just have it make no sense. 3rd and 3, Hillman at the 25, down at the 16-yard line on the swing route. Did he step out anywhere? They're going to say no. They're going to say no. So gain of 28 on the play, and the Brahmas are in the red zone, moving down the field with ease. That punch of Patrick and Hillman has worked wonders for them today. I'm gonna watch the NHL playoffs. I love playoff hockey. I just don't have a team. 1st and 10 at the 18. Cone drops back, fires over the middle, wide open man. He is caught. Gain of 7 on the play. Catch there made by Elise Mack. Return of the Mack right there. So I believe that's his first catch of the day. 2nd and 3. Yeah, NBA Finals, yeah, it used to be 2-3-2. I like it better as 2-3-2. Because I hate 2-2-1-1-1 when you have... I wouldn't hate 2-2-1-1-1 if you didn't have 2 off days with travel. I hate that. There's no reason for that. It should be 1 off day. Then I would have no problem with 2-2-1-1-1. But I don't like that. Half goes to Patrick, he gets nothing. I guess my other problem with 2-2-1-1-1, as it is now, is that it feels like it's... I don't know, it feels like the 2 games you have at home are an event, and then the 3 games they're an event, and the other 2 games are an event, but when it goes like that, it's just hard to get momentum back. It's hard to get momentum in terms of fans and getting amped for it. How is the San Antonio looking? Should I bet the plus? They've been playing well. Lately. 3rd and 3. Cone. Going to throw it away as soon as I say that. Along with this game, also following Golden State Sacramento about to start, I have to switch my monitor for that. I have 3 monitors running right now, so I'll have to switch that because that game is on ABC. But I will definitely be doing that because I really want to see that. All those off days won't go away. Yeah, I have no problem with off days. It's more of just... I hate that the NBA Finals is what? Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Sunday? Like, come on. Like, that's ridiculous. John Parker Romo won't tie the game. That's why I would have gone for 2 earlier instead of going for 1. But a 29-yard field goal to cut it to a 1-point game. It is right down the middle for John Parker Romo. And just like that, it is 14-13. So they don't drive the full 81 yards down the field, but they do get into the red zone. And they are down by 1. All right, I'm just adjusting my monitor so I can follow along with the Kings game, as a lot of you want me to. So just give me 1 quick second while I adjust this stream. Again, my apologies. I'm coming right back. I'm adjusting the monitor. Bryce or Stroud? I think all signs now point to Bryce going number 1. I think that's what's happening. I think, based on the odds, Bryce is going to be the number 1 pick. I like Bryce a little bit more, but I think you're getting a good quarterback out of it. I haven't looked too closely. I'm not going to lie. I haven't looked too closely at the quarterbacks because I know the Jaguars won't get any of them. Nor do I want them to get a quarterback, obviously. But for that reason, I've not looked closely at Young or Stroud, but I know they're both going to be pretty good quarterbacks. Richardson and Levy's, I have no faith in whatsoever. I have no faith in either of those guys. I still have to do a lot of draft homework. I'm way behind where I usually am because I've been cranking out so many videos. I'm way behind where I usually am. But it's also tough this year. It's also very, very tough this year because the Jaguars kind of screw things up by being very good and having pick number 24. Not that I'm complaining. It's just, it feels weird. Like, I don't know who's going to be available. Like, I usually am like, okay, I have a pretty good idea of who's going to be available with the first round pick. And now it's like, I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue what we're going to do. It is a 14-13 game, though. Guardians have allowed 10 straight points. Again, this game means nothing for Orlando. For San Antonio, it means their season. Is there still any chance that Levy's or Richardson leapfrog either Young or Stroud? I don't think so. Maybe Richardson, but Levy's no way. Levy's absolutely no way. First Sacramento Kings ABC game since March 2007. First playoff game since 2004. That is crazy. Good for them. Good for them. I know the feeling as a JX fan. With Sunday football having not been on there since 2008, so I know the feeling. Feels good. Feels good. I'm happy for their fans. Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, easily. De'Aaron Fox, he's going to get some awards. Sabonis is going to get some awards. They've been very, very good this year. 92 Cowboys, 23 Chiefs. I said earlier I would take the Cowboys. I would take the Cowboys. It's close, but I'm taking the Cowboys there. I am taking the Cowboys. All right, 3rd and goal in the USFL. Bobbled snap. And Prokop just has to throw it away. So we'll see if we go for it here. No, that's not... it's actually Johnson. See if they do here. They're going for it. They're going for it. The 33rd team is some of the worst mock drafts I've ever seen. I've seen some bad mock drafts. I've seen some bad ones. There's a lot of mock drafts that make no sense. They're clearly doing it for engagement purposes. I have to remember, a lot of the content you see, the goal is to drive engagement, and you drive engagement by doing stuff that's blatantly wrong. We see the Packers drafting Smith in the first round. All they really have for wide receivers are Watson and Dobbs on the depth chart. If he's there, I could see it. I could absolutely see it. You want to surround Jordan Love with all the help you can get. Dedrick Thomas down around the 28-yard line. Who wins NBA Finals and who wins Stanley Cup? Finals, that's just a nice goal line sent by Birmingham. And Dormandy's coming back in, so Francois is out. Who plays in the Cup final? Okay, so I got Hurricanes winning it all, and I think it's going to be this 1st and 10th at 28-yard line. It'll be Hurricanes against the Avs. Let's go with that. Dormandy going to run 30, 35 out at the 36-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd and 2. I think Hurricanes Avs is my pick. Will the draft be a lot similar to the mock if the Texans got the first pick instead of the Bears? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Would have been a lot simpler. 05 or 14 Seahawks? 14. Give me 14. That defense was really, really good. And who wins the finals? I really want the Suns. I really want the Suns to win it. But I think when it comes down to it, is that's a first down, Eli Rogers for the game of 3. I'm still not convinced that anyone on the Suns can stop Giannis. So I got the Bucks. I got a Bucks-Suns finals rematch, and I got the Bucks winning it. So give me the Bucks, and give me the Hurricanes. You're ready to engage with the amount of times you've seen Hooker at 23 drives me off the ball. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Look, none of these guys truly believe what they say. That's the thing. None of these guys believe what they say. That's how they get engagement. I hate that it's come to that. Like, Kendrick Perkins said the Suns are going to win the finals. The very next day, with no new info, he said he's got the Clippers pulling off the upset. For the whole series. So the Suns is the finals favorite, and then has the Clippers pulling off the upset. How does that work? How does that possibly work? Like, how many mock drafts, it's like, oh, the Panthers are going to take a defensive player at 1. No, that's not how it works. Have an early day tomorrow. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Weather Chart. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you so much. Really, really means a lot to me. Hopefully you're here for the streams tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Some good XFL action coming up. 3rd and 10. I think Bruins are a great team. Don't get me wrong. I just think the Hurricanes would do. The Hurricanes team do. Was the AL actually close to having a 4-team playoff while the NL still two? Yes. I'm going to do a story on that at some point. Yes, back in the late 70s, early 80s, that was actually a debate. A very, very heated topic. It looked like it was going to happen. Pass, what a throw! But incomplete. Nice coverage on the play. Eli Rogers drops it. Coverage on the play, courtesy of Anthony Texada. It's a great throw by Dormandy. Led his receiver perfectly, but even better coverage. And the Guardians have to punt this one away. San Antonio with the chance to take their first lead of the game if they can score here on this drive. Landon Akers back to return. What if Elway didn't retire after 98? I think he would have been shot. It would be bad. He was showing signs of decline. He was showing some signs of decline. Bad punt there by Brown. It's a pretty good game, but that was not his best moment, and it's going to be at the 29-yard line, so not a great punt. A net of just 32 yards on the play, and the Brahmas get the ball with 5:36 left, needing to win this game again to save their season. I hope the Bucks annihilate the Heat. Oh, they will. They will. With the way Bam is playing offensively lately, which is terrible, they got no shot. I'm going to watch XFL tomorrow at 11 a.m. I will be up at 8:30 a.m., which is super early for me because I work super late into the night. I'm going to be up super early for that. And I don't know what Jamar Smith was doing on that throw because he just got picked off General's ball in the red zone. Do they make the playoffs that year? I don't think so. I don't think they make the playoffs. 2015 Peyton or 2021 Big Ben? 2021 Big Ben still had his moments. Both their arms were falling off, but at least Big Ben could throw more than 10 yards down the field every now and then. Wasn't often, but every now and then he could do it. Peyton was a noodle arm by that point. Peyton was just don't lose the game. Big Ben, there were some moments, the Colts game in particular, where he could win you the game. Peyton by the second half of the season was just keep us in this, don't do anything dumb. Peyton had a noodle arm by that point. Big Ben, he was shot. He was a statue in the pocket. He had no mobility. But at least he had some deep play potential. Some. Very minimal, but he had some. Not a lot. How many screens do I have? Right now I have 3 on. But in total I have 11. In total I have 11 that I use. That's how I watch all the games for football Sundays and for college football Saturdays. That's how I do everything. I have all the games going on different TVs, all courtesy of Facebook Marketplace and people selling their TVs dirt cheap for like $10. So I built the setup that way. And 5:36 left. Brahmas down by 1, but they get the ball. They have not led today. Need this win. If they don't win it, the Renegades clinch the number 2 seed in the South Division. In terms of XFL streams coming up, let's talk about what's coming up. Let's talk what's coming up. So tomorrow, Arlington, D.C., we're streaming that one. Seattle, St. Louis, we are streaming that one. Week 10, we are doing, what games are we doing? We're doing Orlando, St. Louis. We're doing D.C., San Antonio. We are doing Vegas, Seattle. We are not doing Houston, Arlington. We are not doing that game. We are doing Vegas, Seattle. Division championships. The South Division Championship, we are not doing that because I will be in Kansas City for the draft. The North Division Championship, will I be able, actually, hang on. Will I be able to do the North Division Championship? Hopefully I can. Let's see. What time does my flight get in? From KC. Let me check. I want to do the North. I really want to do the North. Let me see. Let me see. Hopefully I can. Let me see. First down at the 28-yard line. Let me just see really quickly. Can I do the North? So I arrive. Ooh, that's close. All right. So here's the deal with the North. I arrive at 11:40. The game starts at 12. We will be on at some point. As soon as I get back to my place, we are hopping on stream. Tomorrow the times are 12 o'clock Eastern and 3 o'clock Eastern. Right? Yeah, 12 and 3. 2nd and 4, Hillman down at the 40-yard line. All right, so that's going to be the game plan, but there is a flag on the play. That is going to be the game plan. So next week, we're doing every game except for Houston-Arlington. So it's holding on the play, so move it back. 2019 LSU or 2022 Georgia? LSU. Their offense, I think, was just better than Georgia's offense. Your thoughts on the Falcons using their last draft pick in this year's draft on Stetson Bennett instead of what happened to him in Dallas? Look, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, look, it shows a lack of maturity. It shows a lack of everything. It's a red flag. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything. No one's going to not draft him because of that. In the grand scheme of things, no one is not going to draft him because of that. Now, having said that, I don't think Bennett's going to be a good quarterback. I wouldn't draft him. On top of that, you have to remember, something like that happens, something like that, where he has some character red flags. I'm not sure a good idea is to draft him close to hometown, where he's got a lot of those bad influences. You want to draft him in the 6th or 7th round? I mean, the Dallas incident is not going to dissuade you. I just don't think he's a good quarterback. 3rd and 13, Cone, looking deep, wide open, it is caught! Holly, down at the 31-yard line! Nick Holly, he's over 100 yards today! Oh my goodness, Nick Holly! Where did he come from? Nick Holly had 6 catches all season for 47 yards. That was it. And he's got 4 for 105 today, and just like that, the Brahmas have the ball at the 31-yard line. Best game by Jack Cohn this season as he throws it away smartly with 3:15 left. Tom Brady's going to the Cowboys with the first pick. Right now on the screens, I got 3 screens going. I got USFL, I got NBA, and I got the XFL game on the big one, obviously. It'd be funny if I didn't have the XFL game on. I'd just call him the spline. That would be an interesting experiment. 4 wide. 2nd down. Cone. They rush 3. He's got time, fires. It's Hillman. Short pass, it's caught. Gain of 3 on the play. It's down at the 28-yard line. They're in field goal range for Parker Romo. He can't take a sack here, can't get a holding penalty. This dude knows his players. Yeah, I've done enough XFL games where I know everyone. Plus, I was also in a second life back in college. I used to do a ton of play-by-play and color commentary. Used to do a ton of that. So this is like second nature to me. And this is more informal than that, obviously. I do way more research for those broadcasts, and my style and cadence will be different, but I love doing this. It just feels natural. 3rd and 7, low snap, Cone recovers, fires it quickly, it's caught, recognizes the blitz, it's caught, 15, 10, 5, he's in! Brahmas lead! For the first time today, the Brahmas lead. Travis Tolvonen. TT with the TD, and the Brahmas take a 19-14 lead. Travis Toivonen. It's right on my depth chart, the I is an L. So it's Toivonen, not Tolvonen. 19-14. They sent the heat. They rushed 6. Cone had to fire off his back foot. Terrible tackling there by the Guardians. Looked like it was number 20, Balin Buchanan, who missed the tackle. And just like that, the Brahmas lead for the first time today. Their season is not over just yet. Even blind JJ9 is better than Goldberg. Now they go for 2, make it a 7-point game. Smart play. I told you, take San Antonio. I told you as they were playing better. I said I had Orlando winning this game, but I said take San Antonio with the way they were playing. I said the starter would have taken Orlando, but the guy who asked, hopefully you put some money down on San Antonio because I had that with the plus. Conversion's no good. They throw behind the line of scrimmage. Not sure I agree with that call. I'd like to see some more creativity if you're going to throw behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe do a double forward pass, but 19-14 ball game. Travis Toivonen. I believe that's his first touchdown of the season. Toivonen. Okay, it's Toivonen, according to the Vikings website, where he used to play. It's Travis Toivonen. All right. If Ryan Leaf got mental health treatment, would he have been a successful NFL quarterback? No. No. It would have helped, don't get me wrong, but there were so many mechanical issues and decision-making issues that I don't think it would have helped him be a successful quarterback. There are tons of guys that have great mental health. They're in the right frame of mind. They just aren't good in the NFL. I think you would have seen that with Ryan Leaf. But I'm glad that he turns it around. I'm glad that he turned his life around. It's a great feel-good story. Hornets stay in Charlotte if Kobe does. Yes. Jack Cohn, 283 yards passing. Look away, Falcons fans. Look very far away. 1st and 10 for the Guardians. 16 straight unanswered. Big drive coming up. It was funny, the momentum started changing when, for some reason, Terrell Buckley benched Dormandy for one drive for Francois. 1st and 10 to 31. Dormandy fires. Curl route. The play was blown dead. Warriors have the 3rd worst road record for a defending NBA champ, trailing the 98-99 Chicago Bulls. And what is the other team? Ooh. Was it the Lakers? Offside. So free play. I don't think it was, but the Lakers back in, after they won in the bubble, were terrible. So the Lakers wouldn't shock me if that was the worst. Who's bigger bust, Russell or Leaf? Russell was so big of a bust that they changed the rules for rookie contracts. Jamarcus Russell cost rookies millions and millions of dollars. Russell is the biggest bust ever. Fumble! Did he catch it? Did he ever catch it? I think we're going to say no. We're going to say he did not ever catch the ball. So 2nd and 5. Best Hawks team ever. Best Hawks team ever. That's tough. I can't go with one of the teams in the 2010s. I can't go with them. Even though they made the conference finals, I can't really go with them. Oh, you're actually... Oh, I don't know the answer either. I don't know the answer. I'd probably say the 87 team, 87-88 team for the Hawks. Handoff goes to Darrington. He's getting all the work today. Jermaine Martin's got nothing today. Gain of 6. Good for a 1st down. First time that Orlando has trailed all game. Again, this is something I think that the XFL has done a very good job at, that the USFL really needs to fix. The pace of play for a minor league football. For a minor football league. The XFL game started at 7 o'clock. The USFL game started at 7:30. As Dormandy fires wide open, underthrown, and almost intercepted. Oh, was underthrown by a mile and almost picked off there by Sean Williams Jr. He's going to have nightmares about that one. Right off his hands. But this XFL game, we're going to be in the 4th quarter in 30 seconds. And the USFL is not even at halftime. Games only started 30 minutes apart from each other. I think they have to fix the pace of play. Second and 10. Handoff. Goes to Darrington. Gain of 1. Takes us to the end of the quarter. The Brahmas looking for their third win of the season. It'd be a big one. Again, they need this game if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. A lot has to happen tiebreaker-wise and whatnot, but it's not officially out of the realm of possibility. Again, here's what has to happen. The Brahmas have to win out. They have to win this game and they have to beat DC. Beating DC is going to be a tough order. Having said that, DC might rest players. They might take a bye week if they lock down the number 1 seed, which they can if they win their game and the right result happens in Seattle-St. Louis. If Seattle wins, there's no way for Seattle or St. Louis to catch up to DC, meaning that DC could be the 1 seed in the North, clinch that before week 10, and they could take a bye. So I could absolutely see a scenario where San Antonio beats DC. They have to win out. Arlington has to lose their next 2. They have to lose to DC. And they have to lose to Houston. And it really comes down to who does Houston want to play in the playoffs. That's what it comes down to. They got the 1 seed. Who do they want to play? And they have the option to decide, essentially, because San Antonio, if they beat DC, Houston gets to choose, really. Do they want to play Arlington or San Antonio in the playoffs? And that's a tough question. That's a tough question. Houston took care of Arlington pretty easily last time. Granted, that was week 2, but they took care of them pretty easily. Houston, San Antonio, week 8 went to overtime. So I think you might want to rather play Arlington and their bad offense versus San Antonio, if it comes down to that. So you might bench the guys, rest your starters, take a de facto bye week, and then set yourself up for the Brahmas. So it is not out of the realm of possibility for the Brahmas to make it, but they need to win this game. Will the 2000s Lakers still have won a title if they didn't get Kobe? I mean, they still have Phil Jackson, so yeah, I think so. I think they would have won one. Is the XFL championship game on a Saturday? It is a Saturday. It is May 13th. Saturday, May 13th. And in the playoff games, we're not doing Saturday's game. Sunday's game, I'm going to... It is dependent on the flight being on time, landing early or on time, getting my luggage, and then rushing over. So we'll be live streaming the XFL playoff game for Sunday, the North Division between DC and either Seattle or St. Louis. We'll live stream that probably a bit later, but we will live stream that for sure. I might have to hop on a bit late, but we'll do it. DC goes 7-3, loses to the Battlehawks at St. Louis, who goes 8-2 and wins the championship. I mean, I think that the whoever comes out of the North wins the championship. The biggest non-QB draft bust, probably Tony Madras. Probably Tony. I mean, he was a surefire thing. Aaron Curry is also up there. Vernon Golston's up there, but I would say, considering the hype around him, I would say Tony. And just how bad he was. 3rd and 9. Ball at the 43. Dormandy. Fumble! Fumble! Ball comes out! And it is recovered by the Guardians. But a huge defensive stop recovered on the play by Brent Boyko. But loses a ton of yards there. Loses 14 yards. 4th and 23. Strip sack. Delonte Scott with the strip sack. Good job to fall on it and not have San Antonio start off in Orlando territory, but they are going to have to punt this one away at the 29-yard line. Mac Brown only had a 32-yard punt last time. We'll see what he does here. He's had a pretty good game otherwise. This punt bounces, and it's another bad one. It's another terrible one. It's fielded at the 41-yard line. So a rough one, a 30-yard punt. That's it. San Antonio getting great field position to start this drive off. They've scored 16 unanswered. The problem with the Guardians this season, the second half, has not been their offense. It's been their defense. Well, the defense has folded big time lately. 3 straight drives allowing points. A touchdown here makes it a 2-possession ball game. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. 14-14. San Antonio has a chance to really blow this game open and keep their season alive for one more week. 1st and 10, 42-yard line. Play action. Cohen, who's having the best game of his career, fires. Patrick, he's got it. 50, 45, he fumbles! He fumbles! It's recovered by the Guardians at the 40, 38-yard line. Patrick's had a great game, and he just falls out of his hands. Stanley Mapunga. And what a costly blunder. They were easily in Guardians territory. Patrick with the easy grab tried to do a bit too much and fumble, and it goes right into the hands of Mapunga. Oh my goodness. Who forced that fumble? It was number 8, Terrence Smith. And the Guardians defense, they said they need to come up big after 3 straight drives where they allowed points. Well, they did just that. Stanley Mapunga. Guardians get new life at their own 38-yard line. Draw play to Darrington. Darrington tries to bounce to the outside. He gets about 3 on the play. Brought down by Drew Beasley. And this game is on ESPN2. San Antonio needs to win, otherwise their season is over. Watching Reggie White absolutely embarrassing Tony. To be fair, everyone was embarrassed by Reggie, but yeah, it was bad. Who wins, Kings or Warriors? I think the Warriors just have too much playoff experience. I don't trust the Kings just yet. I think the Warriors win. I think it's a bad matchup for them. Play action. Dormandy. He's going to step up. He's going to run. He gets about 5 yards on the play. Man on the tackle there. I don't have a 15. Or Jordan Williams. 3rd and 3. Yeah, Robert Gallery, another big bust. Though he played for a bit in the NFL. He actually played for a relatively, surprisingly long time. You're an offensive lineman, you can make it for a long time. Luke Jokel was also a terrible bust. Absolutely terrible bust. But you don't talk about him as one of the biggest of all time. But he, number 2 pick, yeah, he's up there. 3rd and 2, handoff goes to Darrington. He's got the first down, and he's got some more. 50, 45, to the sideline, cuts back, 40, out of bounds at the 38-yard line. 38-yard line, brought out by Divine Buckrum. 38-yard line is where Darrington goes. It's a gain of 16 on the play. Good for a first down. You can feel the momentum of this game slowly shifting back in Orlando's favor. Darrington has had a very solid game for the Guardians on the ground today. 73 rushing yards, 5.6 yards per carry. That was his longest run of the day at 17. He's also got a touchdown. 1st and 10 to 38. Dormandy, over the middle. Curl route, it's caught. Down to the 34-yard line, gain of 4 on the play. Catch there made by number 18, Andrew Jamil, his first catch of the day. Again, this drive started because of a one-play fumble by Patrick, who was having a great game before this, was the MVP of the Brahmas before that play. And we have literally just hit halftime in the USFL. Literally, it is now just halftime. They're going to the locker rooms. This game started at 7:30. High throw, incomplete. Coverage there by Anthony Texada. It's a pretty good game. Intended target was Jalen Smith. Like, they have to figure out the pace of play in the USFL, because this is not working. First half of an alternate football league should not take 105 minutes to complete. You're going to lose a lot of people that way. Does David Blatt ever get another chance to be an NBA head coach? I don't think so. I think he would have had it by now. With how player-centric the league is, as that is a drop pass there. Drop by Katie Cannon, who had the 69-yard catch on the fake punt. Drag route, he dropped it. 4th and 6, 34-yard line. 52-yard field goal coming up for Jose Borregales to try to make it a 2-point game. With how player-centric the league is, a guy like David Blatt would not work. I think he got a raw deal in Cleveland. Don't get me wrong, but his style would not work with today's NBA players. It would not work. It barely worked back then. 52-yard field goal kick is straight enough. Is it long enough? It is good. What a cleared from 60. Nice kick by Jose Borregales. And Orlando, after 16 unanswered, gets some points of their own, taking advantage of the Patrick fumble. Now a 19-17 game, 10:36 left. We got an absolute barn burner right now. Any thoughts on Sam Cassell being the new Rockets head coach? They got a talented young core. It's just, I don't know what they're going to do with it just yet. I have to see how the draft lottery plays out. Were the Cavs at one time if they stuck with Black? No, they were on the verge of revolting. They were on the verge of a revolt. They would not have won. They were on the verge of a revolt. They would not have won. The guy I'm happy for most is Ty Lue, because I think he got a raw deal in Cleveland. I think everyone thought, look, he was just good because of LeBron, and he was terrible, and every move was scrutinized. And they went to the Clippers, and it's like, you know what? This guy's actually a really good head coach. This guy is a really good head coach. That did not get his due in Cleveland, despite everything he did. We have a great battle on our hands. One thing you have to love about the XFL, how close these games have been. These games have been insanely close. To make the finals that year, LeBron probably carries them to the finals, but I don't think they win a game. I think they got swept. They have to love how close these games have been. The last one was a 7-point game. DCCL, 1-point game. Every game last week was one possession. The last 5, 6, 7... Last 7 games in the XFL have been one-possession games. Last 7 games, 8 of the last 9 have been one possession. 9 of the last 11. Games have been really, really close. Yeah, Lue was just a fall guy. He was a good head coach. He was just a fall guy. Any thoughts on the new owners of the Commanders after Snyder and the family have sold them? Can't be any worse than Snyder. Cannot be any worse than Dan Snyder. I'll put it that way. You cannot be any worse. And the first quarter in Golden State, Sacramento, 29 all in that one. Again, for those just joining us, thank you for tuning in for this XFL live stream. San Antonio needs to win out. Arlington needs to lose out. That's the only chance the Brahmas have at making the playoffs. Right now, they're up by 2. 1/4 of the equation is done. The second part comes tomorrow. Arlington can clinch a playoff spot with a win against the best team in the XFL, DC. If not, it comes down to the final week of the season, where Arlington will have to lose to Houston and San Antonio will have to beat DC, who might be playing for nothing. Tomorrow, DC against Arlington. Arlington can clinch a playoff spot with a win. DC can clinch the 1 seed with a win and a Seattle win. And then obviously the big game tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, right after DC Arlington. Seattle St. Louis. Hyped up battle for the ages. Winner is in the driver's seat for a playoff spot. 2 of the 3 best teams in the XFL, one of them is missing the playoffs. We're going to find out who tomorrow. It'll be a very good action-packed day of XFL football. Kickoff. It is fielded at the 5-yard line. So the 20, and Fred Brown down at the 23-yard line. So 18-yard return on the play, first and 10 to 23. And for Orlando, their season's done. They're 1-7. There's nothing they can do. Has this version of the Clippers been a failure? I think so. Oh, absolutely. How can it not be a failure? Paul George and Kawhi can't stay healthy at the same time. You have Kawhi and PG on your team. You expect to make conference finals and finals every year and whatnot. You're not. You're not doing it. You're right where you were before. Can't blame Ty Lue for that, but just can't stay healthy. Handoff goes to Patrick. Second down. Patrick had the fumble on the last drive. As we're officially under 10 minutes left in this ball game. Gain of 5 on the play. Second and 5. Handoff. Patrick. Gain of 2. Third and 3. Patrick in the backfield. We got 4 wide. Cone. Looking to avoid a 3 and out here. Drops back. First read set. There goes second read. It is almost intercepted. It was batted. He was looking for the curl route, or the drag route rather, over the middle. Then looked for the check down with the halfback, and that falls incomplete. Almost picked off, and a 3 and out. Yeah, the trade's been pretty even. Whenever you do a video on stupid calls on the defensive side, like dumb decisions there, I've done it. I've done it before. I did a video on Bucks Bengals 1980, a very dumb decision there. I did a video on Bengals Niners 87 when they single covered Jerry Rice on the final play. That was really stupid. So yeah, I would absolutely do dumb decisions on bad defensive plays. I talked about the Greg Williams Hail Mary, the blitzing, the cover 0 in the Jets Raiders game. Fourth, they're punting this ball away. Orlando's going to have a chance to get the lead again. Booming punt, though. Booming punt by Brad Wayne. Fielded at the 12-yard line. That flipped the field tremendously. He's going nowhere. He is going nowhere down at the 7-yard line. Talk about flipping the field. A net of 62 yards. Well, if LeBron never takes his talents to South Beach, Cavs probably still don't win a title. He needed to go to South Beach because they need to clean house and get the management that they did. They didn't have the talent. They didn't have the roster that they did. Thoughts on the NBA play-in? I think it lets too many teams in. I love it. I love the play-in. How does it let too many teams in? It lets the same number of teams in. Play-in doesn't count as the playoffs. I think it puts more than 7 while getting a top 6 seed, less than 7 to tank. I love the play-in. And the games have had a March Madness-like feel to it. They've been so competitive. I love watching it. Now, play-in's been a massive success. The format's good. The quality of play is good. The incentive it has on the regular season is good. I think it's been a massive success. So a 62-yard net punt. 93 yards is what the Guardians have to drive down the field to get this touchdown. As we're a commercial break right now. Also, still at halftime in the USFL. Again, these games only started 30 minutes apart from each other. We're midway through the fourth quarter. This game will probably be done in under 3 hours. USFL game, it's going way past 3 hours. They have to figure out a way to fix the pace of play. They just have to. I think we're going to see some real changes. I really do. And we have videos coming out on JG9 tomorrow. We have videos that drop today on JG9 and JG7. So go check those out if you haven't already. Tomorrow's video is a Colts-related draft video, so keep that in mind. So 2025 is when you think the expansion begins or when the teams start? I don't think so, yeah. How do you feel about Salt Lake wanting an MLB team? Look, they can want it all they want. They're not going to get it. That's how I look at it. You can't play games on Sundays. The market's too small to sustain a team for 81 games and fill a stadium. TV market's not great. I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how you're doing a Salt Lake team. First month and the last month are going to be brutal weather-wise. Playing games in October, if they make the playoffs, good luck. Any thoughts on the Mavericks being penalized for resting players for the last week? I think they should have been penalized way more. $750,000 is a joke of a fine. It should have been way more than that. There should have been suspensions. Heads should have been rolling for that. There's a difference between what some teams do, which is play younger players. And then there's what the Mavs did, where they play Luka for the first quarter, then bench him for the rest of the game, even though he's not injured, and blatantly say, with Jason Kidd being the genius that he is, blatantly saying we did this to tank, essentially. Pace of play in the USFL should be changed. No, XFL pace of play is good. USFL, we are still at halftime. The game started at 7:30. It is 9:30. We are still at halftime. First down at the 6-yard line. Handoff. Goes to Darrington. He gets some yards. Gain of 8, maybe 9 on the play. Yeah, they should have their pick stripped. But there was a flag on the play, so move it back for holding. Look, there's a difference between rebuilding and playing younger guys and whatever the heck Dallas did. Why has the NHL been the only Big Four league to expand the last 20 years? I would say they saw, it's a good question. I'm not sure. First and 13. Dormandy fires, slant route, caught. Big hit there, but still holds on. Hit delivered on the play. Courtesy of, I don't have a 40 on my depth chart, so I can't quite say who it was. So my apologies for that, but it's 2nd and 5. Oh, 25-26, what do you think Seattle and Vegas win the league? Might be a bit too soon. I'd say 26, 27. 2nd and 5. Curl route incomplete. Looking for PI. Jordan Thomas is not going to... Maybe he will. Maybe he actually will. He just threw a flag. Coverage on the play there made by Cameron Kelly. We'll see what the flag is. It actually looked like it came in the... It was not PI. It might be roughing the passer. It is roughing the passer on Delonte Scott. Came across on the edge. And yeah, you can't do that. Grabbed him by the neck area and then threw him down. Can't do that. Gonna call that every time. Orlando has a challenge left. Not a good time to use it, though. No, wait, what am I talking about? San Antonio would... I don't know San Antonio. I'm losing my mind. First and 10 at the 26-yard line. Dormandy fires. Checked out. It's caught! Intercepted! And it's intercepted! Pick 6 to the house! Touchdown, Brahmas! Oh, my goodness! Touchdown, Brahmas! Drew Beasley making it look easily. DB with the TD, and the Brahmas lead 25-17. Oh my, 8-point game. We'll see what they decide to do here. Dormandy with the pick 6. Drew Beasley has been all over the place today for the Brahmas. Big time interception. NFL team as an expansion in Chicago. I think Chicago could support 2 teams. It's not the worst idea. I know Chicago could absolutely support 2 teams. So yeah, I'm not opposed to that, actually. NFL increased in popularity since 2002, but hasn't expanded since. You don't want to dilute the brand. You don't want to dilute the quality of the play. I think that's probably why. Orlando is challenging something. They're challenging for a defensive hold. You might as well. Stuff like this is not a bad challenge. Hands to the face or something. Not sure you're going to get defensive hold, but let's see. Where would the holding... I guess it'd be at the top of the screen? I guess they're trying to argue the left guard was being held? Was there anything in the secondary? I don't... Maybe the top of the screen on the curl route? No, there's nothing there. I don't see anything. I think this is standing. This is absolutely standing. It seemed like they were using an Xbox controller. I wish. I don't think there's anything there. that can overturn it. This is going to stand as called. I mean, it's still a one-possession game. This is not over yet. So neither team has a challenge left. Orlando, that was just a desperation challenge, hoping for anything. Snuffed out the screen right away, and Drew Beasley with the interception. What a recovery by the Brahmas after a horrible roughing the passer penalty on Delonte Scott. Instead of imploding, they get pick 6. And now they're going for 2, making a 2-possession game. Here we go, folks. To make it a 2-possession game. It's the right call here. Empty backfield. Cone. I think the right tackle moved before the play, so hang on a second. Derek Kelly definitely moved beforehand, so moving back 5. So I get the big idea about the Bears leaving Soldier Field. They're only moving 30 miles. It's more of just how they butchered Soldier Field, and they're not playing downtown. It's going to be harder to access for some people. Have I paid any attention to the European League of Football? I've not. I mean, I paid some attention, but not a whole lot of attention. Seems like it's doing pretty well, though. Seems like it's doing pretty well, which is great to see. So going for it from the 10-yard line. This to make it a 2-possession game and essentially put the game on ice. Still plenty of time left, but this would be very, very tough. Here we go. The 2-point try. Not yet. Brahmas call timeout. Jack Cohn burns a timeout, so we are still waiting on that 2-point conversion. We've been stuck at 7:07 for a while. Between the challenge, the false start, the timeout. Again, the Brahmas need this game if they want to keep their season alive. If they don't do it, then Arlington has the South Division on lockdown. We have over 70 people in the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, this game is on ESPN2. Any market spreads doing one an MLB team in? He's raved about Monterey. He's raved about Monterey. He thinks it's coming. He thinks Monterey is coming soon. He loves Monterey as a market. If he was commissioner right now, I think there would be a team in Monterey by this point. He loves Monterey. But he agrees you can't do expansion until you figure out what's happening with Tampa and Oakland. You can't do expansion until you figure out the stadium issues there. And then once you figure that out, you're good. 2-point try from the 10-yard line after the false start penalty by Kelly. And I think he flinched. He flinched. The left tackle flinched this time. Dwayne Wallace flinched. So move him back another 5. And we are still stuck at 7:07. Back-to-back false start penalties. This is going from bad to worse. Yeah, Monterrey, Mexico, yes. He's raved about Monterrey. He thinks that makes more sense than Mexico City. Because Monterrey is closer to the border, there's less altitude issues, and they love baseball there. He says Monterrey is a great market. USFL 17-10 Birmingham, 12-28 in the third quarter. We're going to do XFL stream starting week 4. Can't do any of the next 2 weeks or week 3 because of the draft. 15-yard line, he's firing. End zone! It's intercepted! They can go for 2 the other way! Let's see what happens here. 20, 25 out of bounds to the 29-yard line. He should have lateraled this to try to just keep it alive. We have not seen a return conversion the other way. Interception there by Terrence Smith, who's been all over the place today. So an 8-point game, a horrible conversion after back-to-back false start penalties. Just a desperation play. You say anything about Moscow? He doesn't want to put a team in Moscow because every team would then move to Moscow. In your class, did Bud Selig mention how he would have handled the Astros scandal? He said once there's cheating, it ruins the integrity of the game. He would have handled it way more harshly. He does not agree with how Manfred... He doesn't agree with how light the punishment was. I'll put it that way. He does not agree with how light. I don't know how strict it would have been, but it would have been way stricter than what Manfred did. He talked about. That was like one of the first things he talked about, because that was the hot topic to start off. Kickoff fielded. 20, 25, down at the 28-yard line. This time it's Eli Rogers on the return. The last drive ended with a pick 6. Orlando only down by 1 score. It was 14-3 at one point in the second quarter, as that was a swing pass intended for Darrington. 14-3. Since then, 22 of the last 25 points have been scored by the Brahmas as they look for their first home win of the season. And you can see on your screen on ESPN2. San Antonio needs to win this game, and they need to beat DC next week, and they have nothing to play for. And Arlington must lose to DC this week, as there's a high throw and then caught. I don't know if that was intended for Darrington and just way oversailed, but Charleston Rambo makes the grab. Fooled everyone there. USFL does have a cheerleaders, yeah. Should have gotten the death penalty. Definitely should have gotten way harsher. Stripped of draft picks, fine way more money, banned for life certain players and team and managers and whatnot. And then the whole piece of metal comment, he never would have said that. He said that was a misstep. He likes Manfred, but said that was a misstep. Said Manfred was a big reason why labor for a long, long time in the 2000s, there were no labor shortages, no labor stoppages, because Manfred was on top of that. Did Steely mention anything about steroids? Yes. He said that here's what Steely said about steroids. He said he wanted to get rid of steroids, that I don't know why people thought that he turned a blind eye. He was the first one to say it. Oh, it's 6:13. 6:13. He also said about steroids that Bonds and Clemens should be kept out of the hall. He said that Ortiz, there is nothing on Ortiz. He doesn't know where those rumors came from. But David Ortiz did nothing. He doesn't know where those rumors came from, but Ortiz was completely clean. They tested him every time, and he was clean every time. So those were his thoughts on steroids. He was proposing it for a long time. He could tell back in the 90s when guys came to camp 50 pounds heavier that there was something up. But he said he was on the front line of trying to get steroids out of baseball. Now, personally, I believe that the only reason baseball had a resurgence was because of the 98 home run chase due to steroids. But it was just very conveniently worked out that way. But he insists that it wasn't that way. 3rd and 1. Handoff goes to Darrington. He's got a huge hole. 50, 45, 40. Hang on a second. 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Down at the 4-yard line. Devin Darrington. There was no one in the second level. There was no one. Kenny Adewuzi with the chase down tackle, but a huge run by Devin Darrington, who's had a phenomenal day. 133 yards rushing on 8.9 yards per carry. A 59-yard run. Wow. 5:28 left. Handoff, Darrington. Gain of 1. What did Steelig say about Pete Rose? He said that he's actually very, very adamant about Rose not being in the Hall of Fame. Very adamant. He said he wanted to give Rose every chance in the book, and he never took advantage of it. He never showed any remorse. He said that, yeah, Rose bet on games, and he insisted he bet on only his team to win. But he said, what does that say about the other games? You can't do that. What does that say? So, yeah, you bet on your team to win this one game. What does it say about your confidence in winning the other 4 games? Plus, you can manage differently in those games and whatnot. Handoff goes to Darrington. Nothing doing. Stuffed at the line. 3rd and goal. Ball at the 3-yard line. 4:30 left. Here we go. But he has no problem with Rose not being in the Hall of Fame. He said that Rose disgraced the sport. And he gave him ample opportunity, and he did nothing with it. Meetings with him. And he said, look, if you just show any remorse, we can get you in the Hall of Fame. We can take these steps, and he did none of it. He still insists to this day he did nothing wrong. Play clock running down. Did Orlando get a timeout off? They did. They have 1 left. They have 1 timeout left. 3:59. It is an 8-point game. You have to wonder, if you're Orlando, you score a touchdown here. Do you go for 2 or do you go for 3? You're 1-7. Do you want to play an overtime game? My guess is you go for 2. You do that back shoulder fade to Thomas. We'll see what they do. Yeah, 69-3 are the only World Series and no home run. Yes. What is silly thing about these stadiums being so small that makes it too easy to get home runs? He never addressed that. He never really had a problem with that. I mean, the dimensions are fine. Dimensions are fine as they are. He has no problem with that. I think Shoeless Joe... Oh, I absolutely think Shoeless Joe should be in the Hall of Fame. I absolutely think he should be in the Hall of Fame. He played well that series, too. Jackson played well that series. If he was throwing it, like, he hit 400 that series. He was not making it obvious. Throwing a goal. Francois in. Fires. Out route. Touchdown. Touchdown. They bring Francois in for Dormady. And it pays off. Andrew Jamil. What a play. Francois to Jamil. Francois down in some pain. So Dormady is probably going to come back in. 3:55. And now the all-important question. My guess is they're going to go for 2. Jacob said probably 2. I think so too. Delonte Scott with a vicious hit. What a throw by Francois. We'll see what they decide to do here. A big-time drive by the Guardians. They bounce back from the pick 6, thanks to some great running by Darrington, then that great throw. The Pelicans were a minor league baseball team? I did not know that at the time. I did not know that. Also, Birmingham leads 24-10. The Black Sox scandal didn't happen, the Reds still win. I don't think so. Because the moment that the Black Sox didn't think they were going to get their money, they played really well. They're going for 2. Fires! Thomas! Miscommunication. And Thomas is furious. Thomas went on a slant route. Dormady was throwing for a fade route. They got the one-on-one matchup they wanted. Did Seelig say anything about Shoeless Joe? He said the Black Sox scandal was a dark day for baseball. He said that almost killed the sport entirely because it ruined people's perception of the game. And there were people that are still heartbroken to this day. We watched the Ken Burns documentary, which he loves. He loves the baseball documentary by Ken Burns. And he said, people, to this day, that was filmed in '89. And they're White Sox fans to this day, they remember how heartbroken they were. So he believes Shoeless should have been banned for baseball. He believes Landis did the right thing. He praised Mountain Landis for creating the position, for establishing the authority, and then for issuing the Black Sox ruling and basically saving baseball and saying, okay, this is not going to happen again. Having said that, he then bashed Landis for being a very flaming racist. But at the start, he was good. At the start, with the whole Black Sox thing, he said he handled that very, very well. Was the envelope frozen? I think so. I think the envelope was frozen. You can't convince me it wasn't manipulated in some way. You can't convince me. They're kicking it off deep. They only have 1 timeout, so they're going to trust their defense. 5-yard line is where this is fielded. Return to the 25. He's got some room. 30, 35, out at the 38, 39-yard line. It's Fred Brown with a big-time return. Where do you have a baseball video explaining the rule of the no pepper ball rule? Maybe. We'll see. Here's an idea to help raise attendance, move them to Raymond James and set up like how it was with Joe Robbie. Oh, that'd be terrible. That would be terrible. Yeah, I know how to increase attendance. Let's make them sit in the sun with no shade. Let's do that. Let's make all the seats have terrible sight lines and move it to a stadium where you're sitting in the blazing sun. Genius idea. It's a 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Patrick. Patrick bounces to the outside. He's got a hole. 45, 50, 45. Spins down at the 41-yard line. Gain of 19 on the play. Again, Orlando only has 1 timeout. Fumble aside, Patrick has had a very good game. A very good game all the way around. 77 yards rushing. 50 yards receiving. 127 yards from scrimmage. Did the Marlins make it work? Did they really make it work? I think, to be fair, the Marlins Stadium, it actually was configured in a way that the seats were actually not terrible. It didn't look terrible as a ballpark. Like, you couldn't tell. You watch games on Sunday Night Baseball from the 90s when they got crowds and whatnot, you couldn't tell. Raymond James, there's no way to make it look that way. Handoff. Because they built the stadium with the mindset that they're going to get a baseball team. Did Steelig say anything about the Expos relocation? He said he had no problem with it. They tried everything to keep the team there, but the fans weren't showing up. The stadium wasn't there. He's proud of the fact that there's only one team that has relocated in the last 50 years. He's proud of that fact. Because he thinks that teams are the heart and soul of cities, and that franchises moving willy-nilly, it's not good for the game, it's not good for cities, it's not good for anyone. He's very proud of the fact that the Expos are the only team that have moved. 2nd and 8. Handoff. Patrick cuts back. Gain of 1. And the Guardians have 1 timeout left. How many home runs would be hitting the Pirate ship? Oh, it'd be fun. Hit directly in the cannons. How about that? A home run directly hit into the cannon. 3rd and 8. 3rd and 6, rather. 2-minute warning. This is the ball game, folks. San Antonio gets a first down. It's over. They don't. Orlando, down by 2, has a chance to end San Antonio's season. A lot on the line here. Wait, why are you looking at St. Petersburg for a new site? That doesn't fix the problem. The problem is that you're playing games in St. Petersburg. How is building a new stadium fixing the problem? That's just taking the Trop and pushing it somewhere else. That's what that is. I love spring football, but I can't see 2 leagues being sustainable long term. It's fun as hell switching between the 2 games right now. Oh, I completely agree. I think one of these leagues is going to fold at some point. I don't know which one it's going to be. Can the Pirates switch cities with teams that deserve PNC Park? Look, Pirates are playing well right now. Pirates are playing well. Yeah, at least Joe Robbie was built for baseball. It was built with multi-purpose in mind. Raymond James was not. It would look terrible. If Steelig's proud only 1 team's moved in a half century, he's got to be crushed. 2 teams might be relocating. Yeah. And he wasn't even that upset about the Expos moving. It was like, look, it stinks, but the fans weren't showing up. Olympic Stadium was a dump. It wasn't fair to anyone. So, apparently the Orange Bowl was once used for minor league baseball. That doesn't surprise me. I'm trying to find any crazy stories about Mile High Stadium when they hosted the Rockies for 2 years. XFL is a lot better than USFL. I agree in terms of quality, pace of play. I agree. I like the USFL, but I think I like the XFL a bit more. I can see the networks getting together and forcing a merger, keep 12 teams total. There's 2 different networks, though. So Fox and NBC have USFL, and ESPN and ABC have XFL. So I don't know if they get together that way. Did Steely mention anything about Tampa and Oakland's current situation? He said there are 28 good stadiums in baseball right now. And he said there are 2 that need to be addressed before we can think about expansion. And they need to find a way to get it done. That's what he said. He said they need to find a way to get it done because before you can even think about expansion, you got to fix the situation in Tampa and Oakland because it is a problem that you can't avoid. Wherever the Seattle Pilots one and done, John Boy has a phenomenal documentary on that. So I'll just leave it to him. I'll just leave it to him because he had a phenomenal documentary on that. What is Steely's opinion about Vegas getting a team eventually and also betting? Oh, he hates it. He hates it. He hates the idea of Vegas and betting being intertwined in baseball. He thinks it's way too easy to manipulate the game because he says the moment that people think the games aren't real, they stop showing up. The moment people think there's any manipulation, any integrity that's lacking, he hates the idea of Vegas. And he hates the idea of betting in sports. He absolutely hates it. 3rd and 6. 2 minutes left. We'll see what they do here. Probably a screen pass. Something simple to keep the clock running. Maybe get some yards, but big play coming up. Jack home. Empty backfield. Now they motion a tight end over. Quick pass, slant route, it's caught. Did he get the first? They motion Landon Akers over. And Orlando has no challenges. He needed 6 yards. As of now, they're saying he did get the 6 yards. Terrell Buckley is furious. Orlando calling a timeout. 1:55 left. Did they call the timeout? Would still like improve the rule changes. He loves the ghost runner rule. He said he didn't think he'd like it at first, but he loves it. He loves pace of play rules. Yeah, he would approve all the changes. He loves it. That Jacob Green video was great. Thank you so much. Never seen that pick six he had against, funny enough, against the Browns. Yeah, crazy pick six. But they are giving it the first down. Orlando did not call their timeout. So put some time back on the clock. It is looking dire for the Guardians. Handoff, Patrick. 30 down at the 29-yard line. 1:27 left. And it looks like the Guardians will burn their final timeout. San Antonio, it looks like they're going to survive for at least one more day. Their season is intact. An Arlington win tomorrow or next week, or a San Antonio loss next week, it's over. But for one more day, it looks like they will survive. So we know about the next NBA CBA allowing players to invest in sports betting companies. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. You are setting yourself up for something there. You are absolutely setting yourself up for something there. One and 7 against 2 and 6. What is this? Thursday Night Football on Amazon? This is peak Jags Titans mid 2010s. That's what this is. 127. Here we go. 29-yard line. Hand off to Patrick. Gain of 2. Down to 27. All right, so here's the thing. I love Chase Field. I think it's in a perfect location. It's easy to get to, easy access. I love that it has a roof. I love all that. Problems with Chase Field. Number one, selfishly, I love it, but it's too big. It's too big. Even crowds of 25,000 get drowned out in that stadium. There's no reason it should hold 48,000. There's no reason. The scoreboard doesn't work. The out-of-town scoreboard doesn't work. I have inside information that says the reason it doesn't work, they can't find the light bulb to replace it. The light bulb is dead, and they don't make the light bulb to replace it anymore. So the out-of-town scoreboard doesn't work, which kind of stinks. There's a timeout because there was an injured Guardian. But the clock should be running after this. So I would agree with that. Large upper deck, yeah, it is way too steep. Way too steep to get to the top. You are winded. You are out of breath by the time you get to the top of that stadium. I would also say there's no Hall of Fame. There's no D-backs Hall of Fame in there. The shop, kind of lacking in terms of their shirt selection. In terms of a lot of stuff, they're kind of lacking. I would definitely make it more D-backs. Definitely more Hall of Fame. Definitely Hall of Fame. The children's area looks just kind of there. Look, I love Chase Field, but there are some issues. But it's still a good place to watch a game. Like, I got no complaints from like what I do. But there are some things I would fix. Like, embrace the snakes a bit more. Embrace the snakes. Food at Chase? I'm not crazy about the food. I don't usually get the food. Popcorn, the portions are way too big. Way too big. Pizza, they do Streets of New York. I'm not a Streets of New York guy. Suns just got they dumped Streets of New York. They got Spinatos, and that is phenomenal. Spinatos is absolutely great. Not for like a full pie, but like for ballpark food, it's really, really good. Handoff goes to Patrick. He gets stuffed. Back to the 32-yard line. I don't even know why they called that play, though. I don't even know why they called that play, because that is the ball game. I don't even know why they even risked it. They could have just taken an knee. But with that being said, that is the final score. 25-23 your final. The Brahmas go to 3-6. The Guardians dropped to 1-8. And the Brahmas, their season somehow still alive. Final game time, 2 hours, 55 minutes. The Brahmas, 3-6. Final stats, Jack Cohn, 25 for 31, 302 yards, his best game of the season. 1 touchdown, no picks. Patrick, 50 receiving yards, 80 rushing yards, 130 yards from scrimmage. Nick Holley, 4 catches, 105 yards, had a great game. The offense for the Guardians was great at the start, kind of stumbled afterwards. Dormandy just 47 yards passing. 26 sacks, or 26 yards lost on sacks. Passing game just never really got going. It was mainly Devin Darrington and that one fake punt by Mac Brown. Guardians have 1 game left, their final game of the season coming next week. On the road at St. Louis in the Dome. San Antonio, their final game next Saturday at home against DC. San Antonio wins their first home game of the season. Again, tomorrow we are live streaming both games. Arlington, DC, 12 o'clock Eastern. Seattle, St. Louis, the big one, 3 o'clock Eastern. Back-to-back, we're live streaming 6 straight hours of XFL football. It should be a ton of fun, so join me for that. And again, JG9 video is coming out tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern if all goes according to plan. My seats are really good. My seats are third base line, or first base line, upper deck, first base line, like right on first base. Really good. You can see everything. It's a nice section. You can catch foul balls there too, which is nice. There's a ton of concrete around, so I like it. But thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a phenomenal stream. Thank you guys so much for the donations. Really means a lot to me. It's been a phenomenal stream. Great game. Brahmas win 25-23. I'll see you guys tomorrow for our next XFL stream. With that being said, this is JG9 signing off. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow for what should be a phenomenal day of some XFL football.